ally and sometimes opponent, Count Radu, and agreeing to act as his emissary for a convocation of a variety of Eastern European Canaanites that are meeting in the city of Hermannstadt. You're preparing for your journey. Should we skip right to the meeting, or do we have things that we want to do?
Oh, I have things I want to do.
You have things you want to do?
Well, I mean, after Radu leaves, and
He's not going to leave. You're in his joint.
well, I know, but after
When you guys got some time away from
Got
No,
some
you
time.
can stick him out.
I don't see the point of all this convocation he speaks of. Why do we subject ourselves to these people that continually use us for their own ends? I don't understand.
I was already interested in meeting the man we intend to meet.
Well, if there's a decision to be made of Dracula, I'd rather be part of it than let someone else decide what happens with him and find out later.
Yes. But I don't like the idea of being subjected to the Voivode's whims once more.
I agree. I think if we go, even if we don't like them, we'll still learn something.
Who said anything about being subject to their whims?
Well, attending a convocation implies that we would abide by whatever decision the convocation makes implicitly, and I simply do not agree.
Oh, I think our intention was to subvert the convocation entirely. And to bring Dracula to them, which is the part you may very well not like, and that's fine. I still intend to meet them.
Yes, I do have interest in meeting the man. I suppose that for that alone it would be worth going. His father was most interesting. Still, I fear this may be a waste of our time.
I think he'll be useful.
That may be so, but if there's anything we have a plenitude of, it's time.
I am not so sure these days, with the chaos in the world. I, for one, do not intend to be caught up in it.
Well, then, better to know what the possible opposition is up to than to proceed blindly.
Yes, Pax, you speak wisely. Very well. But do not expect me to like it.
You like interpersonal speaking with anybody? No, I didn't think so.
If only
Jakub, how can you say this? You harm me, sir. You wound me.
Why don't you share some of that reading you do then?
Well, the information is there for anyone.
Yes.
I simply make use of it myself.
if only life consisted of only doing things we liked to do.
What a grand place the world would be, yes.
Or dull.
That is part of the game we play, after all. Deciding which unsavory individual we feel the least uncomfortable with making an ally.
Well, I'm quite certain this is the most unsavory of them.
You speak true.
Perhaps we'll learn otherwise.
Yeah, it's possible. I do wonder what it is that compels this son of the dragon, what motivates him. What is it he seeks?
Well, it's power, obviously.
Is it power, or is he simply looking to protect what is his?
Seems like power to me.
The powerful seek power. It's the way of things.
When I slew the bandits and anarchs who came into Klausenberg, I didn't do it for power. I did it to protect those I was responsible for. Perhaps he is the same. I would like to think so.
Well, I suppose there's only one way to find out.
And what if this convocation makes a decision we do not agree with? What then?
Well, again, I think our plan was to subvert the convocation entirely.
I say these things, among other reasons, only for conversation. Because I think we must discuss these things before we find ourselves in a situation where others are making decisions on our behalf.
Well,
Decisions that affect us and those we care about.
if he is interested in being turned, doesn't have to be by anyone that we don't like. Doesn't have to be by anyone we don't know at all.
From what I know of his father, it would surprise me if he did not wish to be turned. Far more than it would if he did.
Well, he's another man. And has lived a whole nother life. And has been chewed on it. Chewed on by it. So who knows? We'll find out soon enough.
I suppose we shall.
And then we shall make our own decision. If he wants to be turned, would you have him turned by one of us?
That would be ideal, but given what we know of this man, I sincerely doubt he would be satisfied with that.
Oh no, that's not all, of course. That's a means to an end for him, I'm sure. Some like to just make their mark on the world, and some wouldn't like to stop making marks. This is possible. He certainly is extreme. In his displays, certainly has made a mark, I'm sure. It won't be forgotten anytime soon.
Yes. My only question is it cruelty for the sake of cruelty or cruelty with a purpose? They are not one and the same.
There is more occurring at this convocation than the courting of one mortal. What do we think of this prince and his, what did he call this society, the Camarilla? This masquerade he would have us all live under?
The benefits of the masquerade, I think I have made quite clear. I do see the wisdom in that. But as far as being subject to these councils and princes, lords, and whatever else grandiose titles they decide to give themselves, that I want nothing to do with.
A lot of what goes with it is unfortunate, but to be held accountable to somebody for breaking their rules, somebody has to be there to be the arbiter, unfortunately.
But my question is, why should I subject myself to their rules?
Or the wisdom which you see in them.
If I am a fool and do foolish things, I should pay the price. The fates will decide, not some person sitting in an ivory tower somewhere.
The problem is that we all pay for your transgression, and not yours specifically. But the person transgressing we all pay for. This is why we have an inquisition. This is why they are hunting us. That is the concern.
As I said, the merits of the masquerade as proposed that we have heard has been presented to us. That I cannot argue.
I wonder at the truth of that supposition that the revealing of our nature and our curse is the reason that this Inquisition is taking place. After all, we do know that the Church has many Cainites within it in great positions of authority. It was to say someone is not using this as an excuse, an opportunity to act upon old grudges or to clear the field of competition. If there's anything I've learned about Canaanites, it is that we do not change easily. That is the nature of having immortality stretching in front of you. And that those who grab after power are not likely to release it. I mean, look at our experience of Bishop Alfonso, who would have us twisting in the wind and at his beck and call through all of our stay in Constantinople.
Yes, you make an excellent point. I myself once considered, and I believe I suggested to some of you, that we direct the Inquisition towards our enemies. I, of course, have no influence in your Christian church, but some of us, dear Pax, are far more influential than I am.
When was the last time you attended a sermon?
I lost my faith in that particular organization centuries ago.
So indeed we don't.
I do have 2 clergymen in my service, but they're too lowly to do anything or influence anyone in the church.
Yes, what of the spies you sent west years ago? Have you heard anything from them?
Well, we took them back from the west. They came back to Belgrade a while ago. Since then, they haven't returned. So, but even then, they were only priests. So
Yes.
too lowly to do anything in the grand scale.
Lowly in the grand scale, perhaps, but priests have the ear of the populace.
True.
They did not offer any wisdom?
They've been back for a while, so nothing would help us out. I can certainly send them back, and maybe in a couple of years we may gain some insightful knowledge, but at the moment, nothing that'll help us.
Back to the matter of this convocation, I find the more I ponder upon it, the more I agree with Lord Roderick. And I think that maintaining any sort of masquerade is indeed a matter of choice. If one is so foolish as to bring undue attention upon themselves, and they deserved to reap whatever consequences it is they sow upon themselves. But it shouldn't be for some council of bureaucrats to tell me how to do that.
Yes, precisely. Such a thing seems akin to Master Dao's hell.
Exactly.
Endless bureaucracy within endless bureaucracy.
But we shall see what the prince has to say. We've already committed to attend this convocation, act as proxy for Lord Radu. We know his wishes. That is what we should do.
Very well. I see what is beyond with it then.
Agreed.
Emmy?
Shake things up. I'm all for it.
Perhaps we'll see some old faces there.
Oh, I plan on it.
Many familiar vipers.
Mm-hmm.
To the carriages.
All right.
To the sky.
Get out. Tell Helmmaster Bradovich to get the dogs are ready.
The dogs are on the run.
They're always ready.
Do you have the map?
Yeah.
Very good. Couldn't survive since I've used them.
Specifically, the Transylvania map.
Oh, the Transylvania map. No,
Yeah.
I don't have that one.
Just Google it. Transylvania or either Transylvania by Night or Transylvania Chronicles. Vampire Dark Ages map. It's the same one we've looked at a billion times. And then you can go ahead and pull the other one out. It'll be fun.
Oh, that's teeny tiny. We don't want that.
It's funny, I put our other video up and it's got 40 some odd views and I lost one subscriber.
They didn't like it. This one?
The word.
Yeah, that's the one. So we are, of course, up here in B Streets and we're heading down to Hermannstadt, which is actually right between Kronstadt and Belgrade. And it's a smaller hamlet of a town. A little bit of a quiet place. And it is led, the Canaanite that leads it is a Ventru by the name of Otto Hermannstadt. He's set everything up. There's correspondence that goes back and forth to confirm that you'll be going, and you know that you're going to be accommodated, and lodging is set up for you. And the event itself is held within Hermannstadt Palace. Pulling up the goodness there.
Oh, you want the actual ballroom?
Yeah, we're getting there.
All right.
Yeah, there's
Yes.
that. There's kind of what that's a little bit more in the future, but that's kind of an idea what this place looks like. There's a big mountain off on the far side.
Well, it is still the Carpathians.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You want the other one now?
Yeah. So servants lead you after stowing your horses and your carriages and everything being stowed properly, and you given, if you want it, time to drape yourself in whatever finery you deem appropriate for the meeting. Servants lead you into the palace through a series of circuitous and dark hallways, and then behind a moving bookcase that has a door latch behind it, and inside floods the dim light of this ballroom with checkered pavement. In the center of the room is a giant spread of food and refreshments for the various servants that are in attendance here. Music plays, very contemporary music, the finest in Parisian style in the far corner. And every eye in the place looks at you as you enter the room.
Oh, I'm my finest deer and wolf skins. And, yeah. Looked like I had a bath the last time it rained. You know,
Yeah.
which was probably the other day.
Yeah.
Fortunately, you don't sweat or anything. It's not really a big deal. Yeah.
You just smell like mold and mildew instead.
Yeah, it's a little different.
I'll take mold and mildew up over BO. That's fine.
You ain't lying.
Make sure your kennel master doesn't let his dogs in on this feast too, eh?
Oh, here we go. Here's Annie.
So well last time.
There's Emmy.
There's Jakub.
Looking around, do I see anyone I recognize?
Oh, there's Liv.
I would not think that you would recognize anyone in this room that I can think of. With the exception of Nova Arpad.
Oh,
And what is she doing?
Where is she standing?
She is standing in the far upper left corner
Okay.
with two other individuals.
I'm not even playing around. I'll walk right up to her.
Hold on, let's get the map to catch up, but we'll do this. We'll do this.
Nova is upper left.
Yeah, upper left over there.
Oh, yeah?
She's probably sitting on that couch, that three-person couch. Yep.
Yeah, I'm about as stubborn as punching the nuts. you
No,
know.
of course not.
Do we recognize anybody else over in that group?
Just her.
There's the two that will go with her.
Okay.
Yeah.
The two I'm assuming bodyguards.
She has two individuals
Servants.
with her, a female and a male. The male looks really, he's kind of thick, kind of built, but still dressed in kind of nice finery. And then the female isn't particularly striking, like with her build, but her face and her bearing is
You'll have to remind me who they are.
super astute. Celeste. And Malzot, or whatever her name is.
Celestine. Malgor's not the.
Mm-hmm. Malgarzada, yeah. And yeah, kind of like that, Celestine's probably out in front. And she's sitting there, like holding her archetypal goblet of wine as her two companions, like twitter about speaking with her. And you're walking up.
Lady Arpad, how
Anybody
pleasant
going?
it is to once again make your acquaintance.
Anybody going with him?
I'll go with him. But I will remain silent.
And
Watch
you
her.
are...
Don't pretend you don't know who I am.
You must forgive me. The matters of state caused me to meet many individuals.
Yes. You recall, you used your influence not long ago to send my companions and I on a, what do they call it, a wild goose chase? That resulted in a most unfortunate incident.
Ah, yes. I do remember now.
Yes. And
Fare thee well.
I was most upset to hear of your recent unfortunate circumstances regarding your city. That was pretty bad, wasn't it? I remember hearing.
You see her begin to bristle a little bit and sit a little bit straighter. And then the woman on the right, Malgorzada, steps up. It is no unfortunate circumstance for Miss Arpad, for in losing one thing she has gained another. And Nova relaxes a little bit and gestures to this woman.
Yes, but losing in such spectacular fashion. Embarrassed, driven from your home.
The pictures up.
Yes. Still, as bad as that was, I do have to thank you.
It's Nova, obviously.
You see, in releasing me from the bounds of my princedom, I was able to embark upon a different path that has shown me what foolishness it is to sit in a nest of vipers such as you lot.
That's the other lady.
Well, it seems that both of our unfortunate circumstances have liberated us to a superior way of living.
Yes, I suppose if you want to call it that. Myself, I do not prefer the company of sycophants.
You see this woman dart her eyes, narrowing them at you. The man reaches into his belt and pulls out a leather-bound small journal and writes a note, looking at her and looking at you and looking at Nova.
Please, don't let me interrupt the party. I will leave you to it.
So let's go.
Mm-hmm.
See anybody else interesting?
Yeah, there's plenty of interesting people. Some of them you have not met before, but have the descriptions of from having been primed for the situation by Count Radu. But one of them sticks out more fervently than any other. A face as black as night, pocked with scars, ritual scars made from some dark tribe in the unknown continent. A man that haunted the great halls of Michael for centuries. Ketal the serpent weaves his way between the various guests, whispering to each in kind.
Meet his eyes from across the room, give him a smile and a nod.
You see his eyes meet yours for a moment, and he makes the most superficial and perfunctory of nods, and then continues about his business, whatever it may be.
Fair enough.
Okay. You can put him... Honestly, you can put him anywhere.
Anywhere and everywhere.
Put him anywhere.
He out there.
All at once.
We're gonna put him over here.
Plan. Good job. And let's just, since we're in kind of amorphous mode, let's just like start putting people out there. Just let me know who you got, and I'll tell you where.
All right. We have an Anatole.
Anatole, put him right in front of the sculpture.
No, we know him.
Yep.
Here.
Any corner you want.
He's gonna go right there.
Yeah. And make sure Lucita is within
Yeah,
a step of
we know
him.
those two.
Sorry, yeah, you do know those two. Yeah, forgot about that. This is why I did this also, so I could keep track of all these fucking people.
We spent a lot of people.
Yeah.
We have Ariane.
Oh, put her like right on that couch at the top.
There?
No, like to the right. Yeah, right there. So that's a like just this really finely dressed, beautiful woman.
Sounds like that.
Yeah.
It's nice to mix flipping between these easy.
Nice.
We have Vladimir Restovich.
Oh, put him in down left.
Yeah?
No, like way to the left. Like all the way. Put him in that chair.
Have a seat.
Yeah.
Dominus.
Put him in the opposite chair on the other side of the room. So the man over here on the bottom left is an obvious Transylvanian nobleman, dark hair, thick beard, dressed in this immaculate-looking fur. It is huge, this fur, and it's a full cloak, goes all the way over him. It looks seamless too. And then on the other side of the room is quite literally a man dressed as in a Roman senator's robe.
He's not actually a bust.
Don't believe it.
Thank you for that.
Oh, what am I doing?
You'll say,
That's who it is. They're on the bust.
You need to go back to the ball.
what was that, Dominus?
Damn it. Yeah, that's Dominus.
No, that's
Sorry.
Dominus.
Roman 8, Roman bust.
And then we have the lone mortal that we care about.
Yeah, he's over there with Rustovich.
Let's see. We have Gutka.
Oh, put Gutka like anywhere. Yeah. Gutka is this Nosferatu woman who has giant, like, salt crystals
Right there.
that are growing out of her back and her shoulders and the back of her arms. And she's just kind of almost mindlessly wandering from place to place.
That's the son of the dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Gutka.
Yeah, she doesn't wear clothes.
No way is she a Nosferatu.
No way. I don't believe you.
What's her name?
Gutka.
Let's see. Next, in the cast of characters, we have Prince Otto.
Prince Otto, I imagine, right now is probably standing near the entryway where you guys are, because he would have been in the process of introducing himself and introducing you before Leifar walked off.
I'm easily distracted.
Yeah.
He's like, oh yeah, sure.
That's him,
Yeah.
No fighters.
How appropriate.
None of this.
of course.
He's picturesque.
What a
Very-
job.
He might be a Habsburg.
And we have our cast of characters. There's Quintel, Nisita, Rosetta, Nova. Raskolina.
Raskolina, put her over there on that second couch in the lower left. No, the other way. Yeah, that one.
We have Stanislas.
Raskolina is she's a Transylvanian looking woman wearing like a partial cuirass. Who else you got?
Stanislas.
Stanislaus, yeah, probably put him like on the chair on the left.
This one?
Top one.
Very top?
No, that one, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That's this guy.
He's a grim looking, angry, well built man.
Couldn't tell.
You'd like him.
Probably.
Stanislaus?
Yes.
Stanislaus.
Not Stanislav.
Yeah, don't do that.
No, no, no.
And
None of that.
Ventila.
Ventilla put him on the couch right to the right of Vladimir.
Where is it?
Yeah, right.
There.
No, the other. That one. Right next to him.
That's this guy. And last but not least, Master Zelius.
Have Master Zalios like wandering over around where Dominus is.
Wanderer.
Now there are several other pretty obvious Canaanites that are here, but none of them are like major players in like what's going on. They're all servants or things of that nature. They are most heavily congregated up in the upper right and in the lower left corners. And there's, mortals that are mixed in, all kinds of different servants that are around all throughout the area. The food is untouched, with the exception of Anatole, like putting his hand on the ice sculpture. Pax, somebody has taken ice from nowhere. It is not winter.
And
Made a huge block of it and then carved it and smoothed it so that it was like glass.
So as Prince Otto is speaking, I kind of space out a little bit.
My wonderful friends, it is so good to see you, and your representatives are welcome here within my convocation. It is a novel experience to have so many prominent and influential Canaanites in one place together, don't you think? It's quite fetching. Of course, there are many comforts for you to enjoy while you are here. There are many servants walking by with ewers, with refreshments for you. And of course, any of your servants may partake any of the refreshments on the table. They are of the finest quality. Should you need anything, I will be available, both for my hospitality and for a vivid conversation about the various topics that are so important to our kind these days.
Tell me of the sculpture.
Yes, that was provided to us with assistance from our friends in Clan Tremere. As you can see yonder, their ability with the elements is quite profound. As I find it quite amazing they've done something like this. I haven't seen anything like it for quite some time, and certainly nothing of this quality. But I digress. I have other matters to attend to, unless your comforts are, of course, not sufficiently attended to yet. Anything that you need or require?
How does the ice not melt?
It is melting, good sir. Slowly, but it is.
He can't help himself. For your hospitality, I greatly appreciate you bringing us all together here.
Oh, yes, thank you. You are Jakub.
Yes.
Yes, I believe you are the only Moor that is a part of the group, with the exception of this fellow from the Dark Continent. It's quite interesting to meet you. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for your kind words. What is this now that you hand me?
And so it's an open box. Open up the lid. And it's a set of 3 quills. One white, the tail feather of a dove.
Mm-hmm.
One black, wing feather of a raven.
Mm-hmm.
And then one brown tail, a wing feather of a hawk.
Mm-hmm.
And then each one tipped with a different metal.
He looks at it and he's kind of got his hands up, by his chest, kind of like fiddling with his jewels there. He's like, oh, that's quite interesting. There could be a great many matters of state that I could enforce with these things. Lefta. And one of his little servant girls comes up and holds her hands out. You can see her shaking a little bit. And then she looks at him and he looks at her and he's like, does the little. And then she goes off with it. I thank you for this wonderful and kind gift. It's so gracious of you. And it seems that perhaps you have even had a fine craftsman work on it custom. This is certainly not a showroom piece, but something unique, I can tell. Thank you for this.
Very welcome again. Thank you for
Thank
your
you.
hospitality.
Yes.
It's absolutely amazing.
Yes.
Thank you.
It will not melt as fast as the ice will. I am.
That is not the intention. No, it's meant to be a lasting.
It will not melt as fast as the ice will. You can see the Tremere in the corner, just like looking dirty at you.
Prince Al-
Yes. He's like, you're over where they are, and he's like, and like he kind of like waves at you, and then like goes off in the other direction.
Okay, no, good for me.
Do you want to try to go over to where he's at and
Yeah.
like not cut him off,
Not
but meet
cut him
up with him?
But yeah, I just
So he moves over here into this area, right about here,
Blam.
talking with some people. So move Thomas over this way. All these eyes look at you, and Dominus, this guy in the Senate robe, looks at you, and it's like one of those. It's like one of those camera effects where everything just zooms out sideways, and he zooms forward into your vision, and he just completely and utterly dominates everything that you're seeing and experiencing. And you find yourself like mindlessly talking to Otto without even realizing what it is you've actually said, because all of your attention is on this man.
great. So,
What were you saying to Otto?
I was gonna thank Otto for hosting us, and I was gonna give him a gift.
Yeah, you find yourself with the gift like already in your hand, and you don't quite remember saying anything to him, and he's all like, "Oh, more presents! Thank you. What is this now that you hand me?"
A box with salt from a hell from the east.
Hell salt. Wow, that is quite exotic. I can dare say that no one else will have something like this. Wow, is this a colloquial turn of phrase that they use to describe this substance that you've acquired?
Oh no, we acquired it from a dried lake bed that was part of a hell binding one of the one of the masters from the Middle Kingdom.
Oh, that's an amazing story. I will have to hear more of that. That's quite interesting. I am sure that Dominus here has no tales quite like that, and you feel like you want to vomit and shit yourself with the way this guy is looking at you. He is staring daggers through your fucking soul, and like you want everything within your power to get as far away from him as you possibly can. I need you to roll your self-control.
7555.
Okay, so you're good there. Now you need to roll your courage.
Two, 4, 7.
Okay, you're all right. You're all right. You're all right. You could do whatever you like. And like on the other side of the room, all of these folks over here in the opposite corner are like they got all their arms crossed and they're looking at you, and like you realize the whole room has gone silent. No one is speaking. The musicians continue to play, but only out of complete and utter terror for what is transpiring right now. What do you do?
I just turn around and I walk back towards Pax and the rest of the group.
Okay. As you do, voices begin speaking again. The music's a little bit clearer, less broken notes. And the pressure of this man's gaze begins to abate.
walk over to Anatoly and Lucita.
That's actually where I was headed.
Anatole and Lucita by now would have moved to the opposite side of where they're at, near Gutka.
Blip. Blip.
Closer to Gutka. They're talking to... Anatole's in the process of talking to Gutka.
And to be sure, if I remember properly, these are the two that we met in the catacombs.
He's an Arcadian and she's a Lasombra, right?
Lasombra.
Yeah.
They're the
we
ones
met
they're the ones that showed us where the chamber was and
underneath
pass.
to the pass.
Mm-hmm. And they've showed up years later too, and told you about the Anarchal Bolt, and they're the ones who told you about Lasombra falling and all that
Isn't
stuff.
he the one with the visions of
Yes. Him and Octavio both had visions. Whereas Octavio was typically the one screaming a lot, Anatole was the one like going catatonic and cowering in the corner.
So yeah, I'll walk
Where
up
are you
there.
wandering?
But somewhere. Is it important?
It is.
Well,
Social, tactical.
Yeah.
This is going to make for a crappy video unless you're recording all this. It's going to make for a crappy video.
right. That's a problem.
Say lobby.
Yeah, I mean,
Can't win them all.
that is well, no, between the two that I know. on the top right.
Okay.
Is that on a good go? Is that I recall?
Yeah.
Lord Anatole, Lady Lucita. It is a true pleasure to see you
I'm
once
heading over
again.
this way.
All three of them look over at you.
And I'm not familiar with you, my lady.
Good God.
I'm Leifar Gunnarsson.
I thought you were son.
Yes. I'm Jakku. Nice to meet you all. Nice to see you two again as well. It's been quite a while.
Anatole's. Yes. How? Did you get invited? How did you get invited?
We're sent here by. Already his name is escaping me.
Lord Radu requested
Lord
that we
Radu.
attend on his behalf.
Oh. Gutka's like, Radu. And she just kind of like starts meandering off to the left.
Meander.
And Anatole's like, oh, I didn't know. I didn't know you would be here. What are you?
Indeed.
I'm trying to tell them. I'm trying to tell them.
What do you feel?
God has a plan.
Yes.
It is elaborate. I can't understand all of it
None of us
at
can.
once. No! I can, just not all at once. And each one has part, and they won't comply with God's will.
That is the
They
problem.
won't. And they must know that if they don't comply with God's will, then God must wreak his vengeance upon them.
No.
And Lucita's like, no. Anatole, these are our friends, remember? Tahuta Pass? B Streets? I don't care if they're our friends, they have to know. They have to understand. Yes, they will understand. They will understand.
If you wish us to know, then tell us.
He has told us.
I have told you. Yes, he has told you, but you already know.
And Anatole's right.
Yes. But what is it you wish these to know?
Yes. And he like goes and he walks off and starts.
Oh dear.
Yeah, he goes up to somebody. Probably, I don't know, whoever's closest that's not Gutka.
Huh.
Dead right there. Raj Nikola.
And when he walks off, I
Yeah.
walk over there towards Pax, where he's getting ready to start talking to.
Oh, I'm already talking to him.
And I'd say move my character towards
You gotta roll self-control.
Walking over there.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm just watching the room.
Six, eight.
Okay. So, if you tried to switch seats with Ventilla, you could talk to them and look at the statue. You don't have to, but
You consider it.
Yeah, statue.
It's a leg!
after your centuries ago melding of thoughts with Whisper the Malkavian in Constantinople, being blessed by him in his madness with the vision of Michael the Archangel, you have yet to eliminate from yourself their clan flaw.
I haven't tried.
Nor have you tried.
I make my way over. Do I know any of these folks by name other than...
I would say you would have reason to know all of their names, and how much you remember about them is going to be based on a roll. And it's one roll per character. Which one do you want to start with?
Let's start with Rustovich.
All right. So we're going to roll politics and intelligence.
I'm not real good at either of those.
Here we go.
This
Statue.
Yeah.
Talk about the statue with them. Oh, isn't it nice? Oh, our enemies made it.
Might be stuck there.
6,
Or
7,
critical fail
4.
gets his tongue stuck to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Spend a blood point so you have a wet tongue.
Yeah.
Now slick it.
Oh my
Statue.
Ew.
6, 7, 4.
6, 7, 4. Okay, so 2 successes. Count Vladimir Rustovich is known as the Voivode of Voivodes. He is the de facto leader of the Shemishi clan.
Okay.
He is third removed from the eldest himself.
Damn. Alrighty then. So he's kind of a big deal.
He's a little bit of a big deal.
Kind of have no business.
His castle smells of rich mahogany and has many leather-bound tomes,
Something like that.
skin-bound tomes. How
Baby
about Ventilla? Same roll?
Yes, same roll.
6, 10. That landed on her notes. 3. Yeah, so 2 successes.
Ventilis Basarab is related to Dragomir Basarab, your good friend.
May he rest in peace.
May he rest in tiny, tiny pieces. And the Basarab family or clan is in opposition to the Dragomir family.
Okay. So I walk up and manage to turn my eyes away from the sculpture. And I remember stuff about Dracula because we just spoke about him at length.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, if you actually remember stuff, then that's cool. This roll, all of these rolls, and this goes for everybody, are just for it's a game. I don't remember all the particulars. Alan, please help me. And so I can feel good about the hours of reading this book that I've done.
Put that into practice. Yeah.
I will give Count Vladimir Rostovich a deep bow. Count Rostovich, so good to make your acquaintance. I'm Pax Montalis.
Yes, Pax Montalis.
I I'm sure you have been informed that I am here as on behalf of Lord Radu.
Ah, that I had not.
No, he did not send word.
Ah, I have been traveling.
Ah. Where do your travels take you, if I may ask?
Here to this auspicious occasion.
Look around. Yes, it does seem a bit ostentatious. I'm not interrupting anything here, am I?
I don't know that you are. We are simply enjoying. And he's like staring daggers across the room. The company that we have about us.
Who does he seem to be staring daggers at?
Oh, he's staring daggers at Dominus across the way.
Ah.
Exact opposite.
Gee, I wonder if that guy's Venture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder.
I wonder.
And the son of the dragon here in our presence. I turn to Vlad Dracula.
Vlad Dracula is somewhat quiet. Yes? Good to meet you. And he does the double hand bow, one in front, one in back.
I return in kind. Likewise. You know, I met your father. Quite an impressive man.
Yes, he was a great chieftain.
I've heard tell of your exploits. It would seem the apple does not fall far from the tree.
Yes, I have not only carried on my father's grand tale after his death and betrayal. He spits these words over at Ventilla. But exalted it. Taken it to its great conclusion.
You do honor to your family name.
Yes. Ventilla just like leans back, chewing on a fingernail.
So tell me what you make of this gathering
Who are you referring?
from Dracula.
It is very auspicious to meet so many influential and powerful people. Yes, Vladimir, like, he kind of opens his cloak a little bit, and you can see like all this like finery that he has underneath. He has like the tabard that's like, you know how they've got it with like the ribbed, you know, fabric, and embroidered into the ribs of fabric are bats, like all up and down the front of his clothing. Yes, it's our deep hope to provide a wealth of knowledge and experience for our good friend Vlad Dracul. He is at a crossroads in his life, and we wish to equip him with everything he may need.
Anyone who would lead, whether it be in war or in politics, and politics really is just war under a more polite banner, isn't it? Must be armed with knowledge and experience.
Mm-hmm.
As I'm sure I gesture to Vlad, as I'm sure you well know.
Yes, this is true.
So, and now he fought off the trying to remember who the hell.
The Muslims.
The Muslims, yeah, the
Yeah.
Moors.
The Turks.
The Turks,
The
man.
Turks.
Turks.
That was what I initially went to, but then I was like, no, that's wrong.
That's right.
Tell me of your campaigns against the Turks.
Vlad looks around and looks at Vladimir, and Vladimir shrugs his shoulders. What is it that you wish to know, sir?
faced against a foe which many would have considered implacable, insurmountable. I merely wish to know of how you inspired your men, how you led them. What is it that drives you?
The purity of our people. I would not expect you to understand this thing. But our people are a sovereign people. Our people are our own. And we shall not and will not allow any foreign dominator, like boom, the whole room lights up, everyone shuts up, and like you're getting that I feel like I want to vomit feeling. Just then, like Rustovich gets up and he walks about halfway towards the table.
Lit.
Not that far. You see everybody start to bristle up.
Lucida.
What are you gonna do?
Like, drawing Lucida in our conversation away from the direct line between these two.
Okay.
Back towards Emmy, probably.
Lucida probably would go follow Anatole. Yeah. Like I could see her being delayed by you,
Yeah.
but like when
Yeah,
when like, hey, get out of the way, and she'll go that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I turn towards him and
I wave to Jakuba Ball.
I turn towards him and just sort of stand there, stroking my beard and looking on with interest.
Looking at who?
Looking at him,
Which who?
seeing
Him.
what he's gonna do. Well, obviously everyone's paying attention to him.
No, they're paying attention to those two.
To who?
Him and Dominus.
No, that's what I'm saying. He's right there. He's
Yeah,
in front
yeah.
of me. That guy's on the other side of the room.
Just
I'm
making
like,
sure. I was just seeing who you're
I'm
paying
like-
attention to.
Can you move my
I'm watching
character?
Vladimir.
Because I think I'm still in Dominus and I move towards the group, so just move it back down to Henry.
I imagine Master Zalius follows you.
The stonemason and the architect.
So Rustovich does one of these things, and like the front of his cloak, his fur cloak, opens up like this and falls behind him so that his arms are free, and he looks across the room.
I'm gonna walk up to him, just kind of behind him. Count Rustovich.
Huh?
It seems there may be some history, some bad blood between you, as I can understand. But perhaps now is not the time to confront an enemy? Rather, now would be a time the wise man would make allies, yes?
That feeling, everybody gets that feeling starts to abate a little bit. And he looks like is looking across the statue, the ice sculpture. Master Zalius! Master Zalius comes walking over to him.
Greet him as well.
There's
Master
some-
Zalius, it has been a few years.
Give me that self-control roll again.
Again.
Mm-hmm.
10, 8, 2, 2.
Okay.
5.
Hello, dear Pax. Hello, Count Rustovich. So good to see you in this fine, fine home.
And since the moment seems to have passed, I walk up there.
Following over?
Okay.
No.
Lefar's coming up too.
Master Zelios, a pleasure to see you again.
Oh, yes. Lefar. I think that you may perhaps be the only gangrel in attendance.
Why does this not surprise me?
Yes, you are unique. You are blessed in that. I do find it very interesting how it is that they've done such a fine job with these tiles. The marble is of the purest white and the purest black. Surely mined over great length of time. Perhaps Prince Otto knows how many generations it is that it took to find this fine marble and to fit it with such exact nicety in all its parts. I find it fascinating. Count Rustovich, do you not have a similar motif within your castle? He's like, yes, Master Zelios, I have a similar motif within my dining room. It is not quite as stark a color as this, but it is of equal or superior craftsmanship. It's like, oh yes, and some small talk about
Lord Rostovich,
fine floors.
a
you know.
pleasure to meet you once there's a lull in the conversation.
Sure. Yes, Lefar. So wonderful to meet you at last. How fare you?
Quite well.
I have never heard tale of somebody being quite as exuberant upon losing their princedom as you have.
I see it more along the lines of chains being struck from things tying me down to the place. While it was a genuine pleasure to oversee those lands and to protect its people, at the same time the responsibilities were like a weight around my neck that I was not aware of until it was removed.
That is very curious. Very strange. But you are pleased with your situation, so that is favorable, I suppose.
Levar here is more in touch with his inner beast than many of us.
Of course he is. His beast is a bit different than ours, I am sure.
I'm sure you would expect no less from one of my clan.
Yes, there are several gangrel that grace our fine lands, but none are quite as dynamic as yourself.
I appreciate the compliment. Yes, the only one I have had much association with is Mitru. And
Mitru the hunter, he is quite the slut, isn't he?
yes, we have had occasion to run across one or two of his child.
Oh, there's a great many more than that, I assure you. But he does well, protecting the northern lands, if only through the mire of his own consequences.
So my wife tells me. What do you make of this gathering over stage?
It's quite a curious endeavor, don't you think? To bring several hated rivals into one place.
This Dominus is Vintru, I assume?
Yes,
Yes, it could not be more obvious.
one of the great old Ventrus. You would think he would have watched one of the boys suckle milk from the teat of the wolf.
You refer to the stories of the founding of Rome, Romulus, Remus?
Yes, of course, that quaint little tale about nurturing and love and support.
Yes, all the wolves I know would eat him.
Yes, they would at that. they would.
Yes, our dealings with
I
the
do
things-
not know how he would fare if he had to face the wolves. Dominic's like, you start getting that fucking like pit in your stomach feeling again. Whole ring. Oh, people don't quite shut down like they did, but like you could like everybody's like, oh.
Yes, we have had occasion to deal with Vintru ourselves, Lady Arpad, and I kind of glance at her out of the corner of my eye.
Yes.
We had a most unpleasant confrontation years ago, as you well know.
Oh, yes. I made sure of that.
And I thank you for that.
I knew that you would be effective weapons against her.
You know, I wonder if her new allies are aware that the only thing that exceeds her ego is the thoroughness of her failures.
They did not seem to know when I spoke to her earlier, and she did not seem inclined to inform them.
Well,
But she did.
I would shout out to them in an attempt to embarrass her in front of her new allies. But I value the potential that this could actually be true. And that she could be sabotaging them with her mere presence as we speak.
Not intentionally, of course.
Oh, I'm sure that it would. Why would it not be intentional?
Well, makes for good comedy either way.
I don't find her funny at all.
Does a fool for an ally realize that they are in fact a fool? Most do not.
I care not. I am glad to have her disposed from our lands. And while it was worth losing you to do it, I'm glad I did not.
I have to say I'm glad you didn't as well.
Yeah, that is your choice. Many are those that cannot see that being used for a greater purpose has its benefits.
Truth be told, I felt that I was more a caretaker for Beast Streets while Lord Radu was attending other matters than anything else, and to see it return to his control seemed only natural.
Yes, I suppose so. Though as of late he has faltered somewhat, has he not?
It would seem so.
Yes, poor Radu.
Poor Radu indeed.
Yes, the city seems to be wallowing in excesses like many of the cities we hear of to the west.
Yes. You see him, he's like occasionally looking back at Dracula, who's moved over to the couch on the left. And by now, Anatole is shouting at Rajnikola. And Lucita is like ushering him away from her once he starts doing that.
He's that one friend that you love, but he just doesn't know how to act.
He is a little bit, yeah. This is 2 times he's done this now. No, 3. He was doing it to Gutka, then he did it to you, and now he's doing it to her.
Forgive me, Lord Rostovich, Master Zalius. I wish to meet the son of the dragon. His father was quite an interesting character, and I've heard many tales of the son.
Yes, of course. Let me introduce you.
It would be a pleasure.
Quite. Come this way. Vlad! Young Vlad! Come, I wish you to meet a member of the Gangrel clan. You have yet to meet anybody of their stature. Their clan is that of the wild. They wander the wilds of the woods, perform miracles, turn to monsters and beasts themselves, and they rule this wild area like few others.
In the middle here?
Yeah.
Pleasure, Vlad. I was able to meet your father years ago.
Yes.
A most formidable man.
So did this Italian man.
Yes, at the same time.
We've known each other for a few years.
My father was great man.
He knew of our kind. If it would not be too impolite to ask, whatever happened to him?
He was betrayed.
By whom?
By the Don Omni and the Basarab.
That would explain your enmity with him then.
Yes. They have worked their wiles to dispose me from my throne as well.
Yes, another subject I wish to ask you about. I had heard that you had been deposed, but not the details.
Another betrayal. An attempt at assassination failed.
Unfortunate.
Oh. Unfortunate. You insult me. There was no fortune. I am greater than my father. And they were fools to try to kill me.
Of that I have no doubt. You seem like you would be a much better ally than enemy.
Yes, they do not understand this thing. They do not understand that our people are the ones who are strong enough to march into the Holy Land. You can see Ventilla like kind of squirming.
Yes.
And then Vladimir's kind of like beaming a little bit, like, "Eeh." And he's like, he's got his cloak back down like this, and he's like stroking his cloak. Like, yeah.
I understand more than most that sometimes to protect that which you care about, extreme measures are called for. I have heard the tales.
Extreme?
Yes. What others would consider extreme?
They're not
The others do not know. What they would call extreme is their own fear.
They're not extreme if they're required.
They are
Exactly.
required. Gustovich looking really good.
Well,
Just then Ventilla comes darting up to where you guys are and putting his finger in Vlad's face. He's all like, "You don't understand what it is that this villain has done. He is not our ally. He is allied himself, arrayed himself against us. Not but a few months ago, upon exiting his internment, he took wrath and vengeance upon our clan, simply by matter of association. No one actually guilty for the crimes that he accused them of, but simply because they carry the same name. Ignoring that they had made the great transition, the great metamorphosis into Cain's bosom, he murdered them like they were cattle." And he's all like, Yes, I murdered your fell kin, and I care not what transformation they say that they have undergone. They are the same, and they are never changing. They are forever my enemies. Your enemies should be those who would dispose of our clan, but yet your clan means nothing to me. And Rustovich is like, wait. Ventilla, you go and sit. I will speak with you. Vlad, sit over here. Vlad's like, ah! And like, you see like, what's his name? Vladimir. His eyes get real big, and then you see Vlad kind of like back down a little bit, and he's all like, yes, of course. And he goes and he sits over on the couch over on the right.
The one on the right.
Yeah. As you can see, the troubles in our lands are most dire.
What is the nature of the quarrel between Basarab and the son of the dragon?
Did you not just hear it?
No, I heard, but I heard the outcome, but I don't understand the origin.
It was ancestors of Vintilla's family that arranged the unfortunate change of power that befell the Dragomir clan.
Ah. I can see that being the case. You know, we met the former Lord Basarab. He seemed more than a little unhinged.
Yes, Vintilla's cousin.
I suppose so.
He was quite mad, unhinged. My friend Pax is a master of understatement.
I didn't understand that you had had quite so much congress with him.
Only a bit. We've met him but once.
Twice. We visited him in his home the one time.
And he did come to visit us once as well, and then he disappeared after that.
Yes, we don't know what happened to him at that time.
Yes, we, actually, Master Zelios.
Master Zalius is all the way on the other side of the highway.
Well, tell me, have you ever heard of a demon named Kupala?
Kupala. I have heard of these rumors.
One of the seals which Master Zelius required be crafted was at the stronghold of Basarab, and that is what brought us there in the first place.
Ah, quite an adventure.
It was indeed. The craftsmanship itself is performed by my friend Thomas over there. He's still standing over there by the door.
Yeah,
Probably.
for me, yeah.
It was quite a feat. It was a storm the likes of which no man or canine had ever seen before, I imagine.
Did you think this Kupala real?
Quite real.
Huh.
I'm not one given to superstitions or unfounded fears, but the evidence was fairly plain to see.
He strokes his beard.
It certainly drove, as I said, the former Lord Basarab to madness. Or at least it didn't help.
How is it that this Lord Basarab was not put down by his own plan for diablerizing his own grandsire?
I had not known that this thing had happened.
Yes, he freely admitted it when we visited him. Why do you think we considered him so mad? That was one of many reasons.
Fast must have been his descent into madness.
I know nothing of that. We did not know him before.
If there were no time for anyone to discover his villainy, surely it must have been quick.
And when he visited us the second time, he tried to get us to join this
Anarchs,
movement.
yes.
Yes. The madness to the west. He sought to overthrow the Voivode. Now, no offense to you, Lord Rostovich. I have no love for the Voivode myself, but I do not wish to
No
see
love for the Voivode.
Well,
Whatever could you mean?
I am a foreigner. I
You
know
are
these
at
lands,
that.
and I understand that you protect this land, and I can appreciate that.
The Voivode has been quite gracious to us.
Yes.
Quite. I have given you kingdoms. I have given you enemies. I have given you power. And I have given you freedom. Freedom that you have hardly had back in the holy city, where you groveled from house to house. It is quite enlightening to find that you care so little for everything that I have given you.
I would ask that you consider, Leofar, that even in being what you might think of as being used as pawns, were you not given an opportunity to sharpen your claws, as it were, and find the new path which you find yourself upon?
Furthermore, such a villain as Arpad, such a weakling existing in our midst, your neighbor, and you knew not of her even existence, and I made sure that you were in a position to embarrass and destroy her power like none other. A Methuselah falling before your clan. Yet you care not for the voivode.
Forgive me.
Yes.
I
Why
must-
don't you spend some time thinking upon these facts?
What I only wished to mention was that certain members of the Voivode we have had issues with.
Name them.
I can't even remember half the names. Honestly.
Sardescu, Ralu,
Yeah.
which one?
Zardeshku, Radu, Rastakovich.
Yep.
Those are the guys.
Oh, that's it.
Pretty much. There's Yarok too.
We don't know that guy.
Yeah, you do.
Do
Yeah, you've been told about him.
we? Yeah, but do we know him?
No. This is the first time you've met Restovich too.
Previous to this, the only ones we've actually met were Radu and Zardescu.
Yeah.
In Zardescu, we may have been freaked out by the fact that he was using little kids as Kool-Aid jammers.
Yeah,
but
when you're a babe.
he.
Barn.
But yeah, but the truth of the matter is, he has been an ally.
He's a prick.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's a total prick.
bit of a prick. Yeah,
Yeah.
but he's not our enemy.
Radu can be kind of a prick too.
Yeah, but again, not our enemy.
And to make it clear, because I know sometimes things get foggy in dialogue, like Rustovich has just made it very clear that, like, because you were kind of upset at the Voivodes when they set you guys like, hey, a bunch of princes need to go to our pod and like be errand boys, and you're like, fuck the Voivodes. Like,
Yeah.
Rustovich just told you he did that. It wasn't like a council of voivodes or anything. It was him. He said, you guys go and do this thing. And then he also said that he did it specifically not to like put you down, but to like piss you off at this lady so that you would fuck her up.
And it works.
And it worked.
You still hate her.
So he probably, I imagine at this point, he arches his eyebrow, you know, like, and then kind of walks over to talk to Vlad. So you could come back. You can come back.
You've just been that damn
Yeah.
wild man.
Well, you can continue being upset and disliking him if you want. You can play that however you want. You know, just
No, I get you.
You did just say that the
you're in you're in the big the big pool now. You're seeing part of what all this part of what all this is for even is to help illustrate like what's been going on in the background around your characters and the things that have happened to you.
Gotcha.
This. So we know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, move him over by Vlad.
Top shit, Voivode.
Uh-huh.
Come on.
Well,
we're-
apparently, once you put that on there, it doesn't work anymore. It is now stuck in place forever.
Boom. All right, Emmy and Thomas, do you guys want to do some stuff? You guys have been hanging out near the door.
I've just been watching.
Yeah?
Yeah, I've been watching the boys
Oh yeah.
make asses of themselves.
There's a lot of that going around.
Yeah.
In fact,
No,
why don't
not you.
you give me an intelligence and subterfuge roll?
979 10 10 2.
Okay. So, since you've been chilling over there and just kind of watching everything, like, as you're thinking about it, you could almost swear that a woman put this together.
Oh, I absolutely believe that.
You could almost swear that a woman did this.
Yeah.
Because she, like, it looks like some woman, this is just like when there's some woman who has men in her family that she's pissed off at, and she's bored.
Yeah, so she pits them all together against each other. Yeah.
Just like you've done before.
Yeah.
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 And she's like gotten all these people. You don't know. I mean, there's no woman here.
Well,
Who's-
there's Nova.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying.
set this
That,
up.
I'm just saying that
Yeah.
there's no woman who's obviously that woman in this
Yeah, yeah,
situation.
yeah.
But that's the vibe you get.
Okay.
You're all like, how is it that all these guys are opposed to each other and fighting?
Yeah.
And like all this is going on, like this is exactly the kind of thing some twisted, manipulative woman would put
do.
together.
Yeah. Since Thomas is standing next to me, I look at Thomas and I say, "This, yeah."
I have another thing for you too.
Okay.
Before you get into the dialogue thing,
You have this
like
incredible.
because you had an incredible role.
Yeah.
Like this is no joke, a fucking chessboard.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I figured it was. So I'm like,
These are the kings,
Yeah. Okay. So
and people are
no.
moving.
Master Zalius is a
Za-
king,
no.
or
No,
Rustovich?
Rustovich.
Yeah,
Rustovich is a king, and
Yes.
Dominus.
Blackface.
Yeah. No, he's not blackface. He's a Roman guy.
He's the bust.
Oh, he's the bust. He's
Yeah.
the bust. Okay.
He is the one who is making everybody feel like vomiting.
He's the Ventrue, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's probably why I'm still on.
And you can see he's got a bunch of other. They're not listed because they're not important. But he's got a bunch of like functionaries and stuff
Okay.
that are moving around. And
Okay.
anytime, zoom back out, please. Oh, okay.
Host is
So anytime like significant numbers of people move to the center,
yeah.
like everybody gets on edge
Yeah.
because all these people are prone to frenzy. They've
Okay.
all got like this is the leader of all Shemisi on Earth.
Yeah. And I would know that because I'm part of
Yeah,
the
you know
clan.
that.
Yeah.
You have a feeling he's might be the same thing
Same thing, but for the Ventrue.
for the Ventrue.
Okay.
So you know that these guys have the ability to completely
Wipe everybody
wipe
out.
everybody out.
Okay.
And no doubt some of these other people ain't no chumps.
Yeah.
You got all these Tremere over here.
Yeah. That we don't like.
Yeah.
Okay. So since I'm standing next to Thomas, I share all this information with him.
Thomas.
I'm listening.
Yeah. So everything that Alan just said, I repeat. I'm like, Thomas, does this feel like a party of like misfit cousins? Let's throw them all in a room together and fight.
I get
Like
that feeling.
there's a puppet master here that's not in this room, and I'm 98% sure it's a woman, just because I have done this before. I mean, it's been a few years, centuries, but I have done this exact thing before, and it worked really well. And so this woman, whoever it is doing a very good job, because these two people are going to potentially take out everybody in this room if it gets to that point.
I agree. There seems to be an ulterior motive here.
Oh yeah, but it's not
What
anybody
is-
in this room that it's their agenda. These guys are pawns. Even these really, I mean, Rustovich, I know, is the leader of our entire clan, and I think this Dominus is the same thing for the Ventrue. I think this is why we all feel like we want to throw up when things start getting on edge and everybody moves closer together and there's more people congregated. We need to tell the others, but I don't know how to do that without, because I know they're on a mission to figure other things out. So
As the evening goes on, I'm sure we'll learn more.
I'm sure we will.
If there were a small spat between
Yes.
persons, I wouldn't be surprised. What the end goal is, I don't know.
Yeah, no. The end goal is to get all these guys pissed. That's the end goal. Because somebody wants them all to kill each other so that they can have the power.
So you want to keep hanging out by the door, or do you want to go talk to somebody?
Who do I want to talk to? There's so many choices. Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
What about Thomas?
I think he just
Oh,
went
he's
to the
gone.
bathroom.
Well, I'll walk back up to Lord Stowage.
What's Jakub doing? We haven't heard from him in a while.
For real.
Yeah. Let's do Jakku.
I'm actually curious about the other people in the room that we haven't had the chance to see on screen. For example, who's orange in the corner on the wall, rather? West side. Yeah. Who's
Stanislaus.
Stanislaus.
Stanislaus. Who's Stanislaus?
You want to go over there?
You want his picture?
Yeah, put his picture up. In there.
Oh, it's Mad Man.
Angry.
It's Angry Man.
This angry man.
Hey, man.
It's Doug.
It's Doug. Yeah.
Kidding.
But who is Stanislaus? What do I know of this person?
Give me that politics and intelligence.
Okay. Well then, nothing at all.
Yeah, he's one of the names.
He's a name.
He's one of the names.
I was given a name. Who's on the right side? I think.
On the right side.
Yeah. Green is.
Okay, Tom.
Katal.
Okay, Tal. Yeah. No. He's a Setite.
Hell yeah, he's a Sedite.
Yeah. I've never met him.
I'm the only one that has.
I know. As he sneaks around and serpent tongues everyone. I'm sorry. What? Where is he now? Is he
He
actually
doesn't
there?
he doesn't serpent tongue anybody
He's
per
talking.
se, but he just moves around a lot.
Yeah. Is he still there?
Sure.
Yeah. Let's go there. Talk to K-Tel.
He's there talking to. You know what? Roll perception and subterfuge.
Brought out. 10, 10, 2, 2. 6, 6.
He's over there talking to one of the servants, and you can tell that he's talking to her about things that are very untoward.
Oh, of course.
He's not saying anything strange at all, but like her body language,
Implying everything.
her body language is just like really weird and messed up.
Is she uncomfortable?
Yes, but she looks physically, not socially uncomfortable.
I will. If I wait another 30 seconds and observe, does anything change?
Not really, no.
Okay, then I'll walk in. K-Tal.
Yes, my lord. He
Nice.
kind of waves like this, and the servant girl walks off. She looks like she has a limp.
Curious. It's nice to finally meet you. It's been a long time since the Holy City.
You have me at a disadvantage, dear sir.
Oh, you know my friend Paxton well ago.
I am familiar with Sir Pax, yes?
Indeed. He told me about you. Kind of wished I would have had the chance to meet you before we left. As we were young, I was curious about your clan. The only one I still know at this point is Pax.
How may I enlighten you?
Well, how long did you stay in the holy city before it was taken?
I was there up until the last year.
Really? How did things go? I'm curious. I know.
It was... It is difficult to describe, but it is much like... I don't know how much time you had spent in rural areas.
Probably not very much, no.
I'm sure my metaphors would be insufficient then.
Oh, you mean in general? I thought you meant around the holy city.
Oh, ever, of course.
Some.
Did you ever homestead or hunt?
I have. I traveled. Traveled a lot during my life. Hunting was necessary sometimes.
Then perhaps you might know the difference between meat that is kept outside in the winter versus meat that is allowed to fester in the heat of the summer sun.
Most importantly, we generally salted our meat so that we could use it in travel, but yes.
As I say, my metaphors are insufficient.
It was festering. It was not frozen in the snow.
Yes.
We saw it as much when we were there. But only worse, they couldn't even bring themselves together when the Turks threatened an invasion.
They made the attempt, but it was
Far too late.
feeble.
Who even championed the attempt?
The holy city fought as it was intended to do, but it was not enough. They were simply weak. There weren't enough. No amount of zeal and pride in your heritage or faith in your God was enough to defeat 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 men to one.
Yes. No, indeed. I don't know. Even if they had all gotten together. And to lead to curious questions about the enemy, but you left before then. That's my understanding.
I did. I didn't wish to. Though I love the holy city and all that dwelled within it dearly, I did not wish to sacrifice myself for that dream.
No. We left for the same reasons.
I understand. Perhaps I would have been wiser to have left when you did.
I mean, was your position damaged in the intervening time? I know Michael died, before they showed up.
He was a great friend. But there comes a time when every serpent must shed its skin in order to grow, must it not?
Oh, absolutely. No, indeed. I've most certainly pondered that since entering this new life. Shedding old skins.
Which of these will be able to shed their skins? For all of the fiends talk of change and metamorphosis, they seem quite addicted to their ancient castles and mountains.
Don't certainly around here, anyways.
And the Ventru. he cannot even manage to wear clothes that have been made after the time of the Christ God.
Well, don't underestimate the snake by its skin.
No, of course not, but neither seems ready to evolve.
Yeah, I don't know. I've only warred with their allies, so I'm not so keen on meeting him, I suppose. Not only that.
His agents were most interesting in Constantinople.
In fact, I think Pax knew some of them, unless there were others that we weren't aware of.
Did he now? He never told me.
What was his name?
Ah, no, I recall now. He did mention that he wanted me to give him information about the Nkanu.
Was it the Nkanu that...
Oh, yes, Dominus is one of the chief members of the Nkanu. Did you not know?
No, in fact...
Oh, doesn't that make it exciting?
Possibly. The Nkanu came up in some of my studies about some issues there. But I'm not even fully aware of what the Nkanu are, I'll be honest.
We had infiltrated the Toreador.
Well, that was clear. Then, I mean, he does look like the Toreador and the Ventru there.
Where's your place in all of this?
Well, I certainly came to meet the dragon, and at some point I shall. Once, well, I say all the bustle around him would end, but it certainly won't.
It will not.
No. I await my good timing, for sure. He was my neighbor after all. I was concerned.
Do you have some sort of plan with him, or is it simply fanfare?
I want to know the man. I want to know what he wants.
The question is, what do you want?
Well, of course, I should have to share that with him, wouldn't I? I want to know if he wants the same power back. I want to know if he wants our power. What is your measure of him?
He is... We have an animal in my lands. It is like a bull, only it's much larger. It has one horn instead of two. A great horn on the front of its skull. And it destroys anything that it points that horn at. That is Vlad Dracula.
Just a weapon.
Oh, what a weapon he is.
Yes.
There is no beast upon the plains that will face itself against this beast. None could stand.
Even the greatest have, where the holy city fell. At least that we know these days.
I shudder to think what would have happened at the holy city if Vlad were there.
Yes. Not any better off than it is now, would it?
I don't know. How do you feel about all of this, then, being your folk? That
Well,
have swarmed across these lands.
they fight for what they believe, and they die, and they move on into their afterlife. They're no less happy about that.
Yes, but they're your former kin, are they not?
They believe they have gone to a better place in such a fight.
And your faith is not as acute.
Well, No. I look for the truth between all faiths.
Hmm.
Perhaps without, I don't know. Certainly the best we have. In fact, that does lead to a curious question then. Y'all Set then is the god that you worship, yes?
Set is the holy redeemer and liberator. The ancient master that shows us the way to freedom. But he is not the only holy personage that I have spent my time with.
Well, certainly you've spent time with Michael himself.
Yes. But Antonius and Dracon as well.
Personally.
Of course.
Should have spoken to you sooner. Would have been most interesting to speak to you while we were there.
Before the third court in Constantinople, when the Antonius was ruled to be killed by the council, the three of them spoke and walked openly, almost cavorted about the city. Such was before your time, but they were easily accessible. And I spent a great amount of time with them all. Though, of course, Michael favored me the most.
And you favored him the most in the end.
Yes, he understood me. He understood that I was a great test. I am a great test. For that which I cannot break, I make stronger.
Indeed. It's interesting.
This is Set's way.
Yes.
The way of the storm.
Should speak again.
I would like that very much.
Love to know more about the Storm of Set. Understand how it aligns to the others. I had one other question, but it has escaped me.
Yeah. It's quite an overwhelming meeting that we find ourselves in.
The understatement of the year.
I'm most concerned to make sure I know which way to get out in case things go the wrong way.
He points towards the door. That is the way.
The only?
Do you
I
wish
think
to know
there's-
something that others do not?
Always.
What would you exchange for it?
Looks like there's 3 doors.
Service doors on the sides.
Still, I'm gonna get out. This is why MA is still at the front.
What would you value?
He reaches into his pocket and he takes out a small iron needle. Make that servant girl swallow that needle.
The one you were speaking to.
Yes.
It's just a needle.
Yeah, it's an iron needle.
Right, yeah. Would you hope she'd die?
Perhaps.
Does she have more to play in this than I know?
I find her fetching, and I wonder if she can weather the storm.
Are there any flames?
In this room?
Candles?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Mostly along the walls and along the table.
I'm sure there's candles everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I can certainly do this thing.
Do so, and I will avail you with a secret of this place.
her.
All right. She's got one of the little tray. You can see her limping.
Mm-hmm.
She's got the tray, like the blood ewer tray.
Mm-hmm.
Handing it to some people, others not.
Madam. A ewer.
Yeah, and then just little cups, and then she pours the cup for you.
I want to take a sip. Do I taste kindred canine blood?
No.
Okay. I'll take a drink. More, please.
She pours you more.
So
Why are you limping?
Tastes like pennies.
I hurt my foot, sir.
She start limping before or after we got here?
You weren't paying attention to her before you
Yes.
were talking to Kate's house.
Right.
You would be able to know.
Right. Going about your duties today?
Yes, my lord. Is there anything else that you require?
Yes. You should swallow this.
So what are you going to do?
I'm dominating her.
You're going to do the dominate?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I won't make you roll. She's a dominator. She looks at you, and she looks at the thing, and then you can see her like she closes her eyes and she holds her tray in one hand and she like crosses herself, and then holds out the tray so you can put the thing on the tray, and then takes and goes like this and turns to the right, and then puts this thing in her mouth and then swallows and starts walking that way.
Finish my
Within like 7 steps, she drops her tray and keels over on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, she's like crying. And, A couple of other servants come and escort her out of the room.
Now there's a big puddle of blood on the floor.
Yeah.
I finished my cup of blood.
All right. Well, come on. What do you got, humanity?
I mean, I'm, what's it called? Conviction.
Yeah, okay.
So, I mean, if you want me to roll, but I'm doing what must be done.
Yeah, okay. Well, look at that. You want to just voluntarily lose that humanity point then so you can get going on your path?
No, because I need to lose more of my self-control before I take that, so I'll roll if I need to roll.
Yeah.
So am I rolling just humanity straight up?
No. You would be
No.
rolling your conscience. So
Oh,
you're
then
rolling
I'm
conviction.
failing anyways.
Yeah, so you're failing, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
So you're going to lose humanity.
Fun times.
Because that was
Yeah.
needless torture
Totally.
for almost no good reason.
Yeah.
After a few beats and eyes, return to various other topics, Katal, comes by and does a little couple claps. The tapestry behind Dominus's seat has a secret exit. You will find that if things become difficult and he wishes to retire, that he will have exited through that way, and it should not be too difficult to follow him if you desire.
Why is he in that seat then? Who has given him this route?
His clanmate, the prince, of course. You didn't expect him not to have favorites, now did you?
No.
So the prince's adventure, the host.
Yeah, I figured as much. He was very excited about my quills.
Yeah.
You good?
Yeah.
All right, Leifar.
I approach the storage.
All right. Why don't we start off with when we do a etiquette and charisma, or if you want to substitute etiquette for something like performance.
I don't have any of that, so.
Okay.
Melee farm, me no talk good.
I do have manipulation.
This is a,
Decent manipulation.
we might get into that in a second.
Okay.
This is how do you approach the guy that you just insulted?
Actually, maybe. Yeah, 10 and an 8.
Oh, 10 and an 8? Yeah.
Well, and a 4, but yeah.
10, 8, 4? Yeah. That's not too bad. So it's probably wise to, like, I wouldn't say grovel, but, like, kneel or bow really low and, straight, like, lead with an apology.
Well, I was going to do that anyway.
I know. I'm just
Yeah.
making it clear, not letting a mistake be made at this point.
Lord Rostovich, my apologies for my earlier bluntness.
Yes?
It is both a thing of not only my clan as a Cainite, but my mortal heritage that subtlety is not our strong suit. My statement derives more from resentment at manipulations earlier. And after speaking to you today, I can see that those ends were noble and appropriate. Nonetheless, a feeling that has been in me for the last century or so is rather hard to shake. And being manipulated into attacking Nova as we were did not sit well with me. Now that I can see your ends, I can respect that.
Well, if you were completely content with being manipulated, then you would be servile. And that is less than favorable.
Servility also is not in my nature.
Nor mine.
Then we are of one accord.
We are in that. You will find that subtlety is of a great aid to my people in these lands. And even if it is something that is beyond your ways, it is something to be understood and respected. But I think that it seems now you are understanding that.
Yes. Where I come from, if an interloper were to enter your lands like that and you did not want them there, you would simply declare war, send in your soldiers, your warriors, and wipe them out. Execute them. Possibly spread them with the Blood Eagle. It's been known to happen. You've heard of this.
What is this?
The Blood Eagle.
Huh?
It is a traditional punishment of my people for the most extreme of infractions. For our most hated enemies.
Do you summon an eagle to eat upon their flesh?
Nothing so supernatural, no. Quite simply, we place the person on a cross, face down, or across a log with their arms spread wide. Break all of their ribs in their back with an axe. Spread them apart. Pull their lungs out and place them along the sides of their arms, and then spread the rib cage wide like the wings of an eagle.
Oh. Then display them.
Yes, as a warning.
Huh. I think that I like that.
It is a thing my people have done for centuries.
I think if I use this, I might perhaps rename it. I favor our other flying companions here in these lands. Whatever do you mean? But I should like to do this to one of the Lupins one day.
Yes, we have faced them.
I think that would be quite a sight, especially given their propensity for healing themselves. they would not die.
Hmm.
And they would suffer for days. But you will have to understand that should our position allow us to so easily just declare war on an interloper, it of course would be done.
Of course.
But as we are besieged by enemies on so many sides, subtlety must be needed.
Subtlety also has its place, something I've learned in the intervening years. But a lesson I have still yet to apply myself.
You will learn more of it. It will come with age. Many great benefits from subtlety and observation.
Now, observation is something that I have made great use of. It was most beneficial in taking down our mutual friend Nova.
Yes. I quite enjoyed how you accomplished that.
It was very satisfying. Perhaps more satisfying than even mounting her head on a spike.
Oh, I'm sure that you'll be able to enjoy that within time.
One day, perhaps.
Why wait? Like Vlad speaks up.
I was waiting for him to say something.
I think Jakub walks up at that point too.
Vladimir's like, patience, Vlad, patience. We do want to get as many of our enemies onto pikes as we can.
Indeed.
Then waiting is not the way. The way is to put them on the pikes. He's like, ah, ha, ha. Like Vladimir's like laughing and kind of putting his arm around him like,
And look, she gathers them.
oh, chunk, you know.
Yeah.
And she does indeed gather them for you, doesn't she?
Who are you talking
To all of them.
to? Oh.
Jakub Alhadrami.
She who?
Oh,
He speaks of Nova.
Ah. She is a minor nuisance.
No, I don't disagree. Which is why.
And he gazes across the room.
Mhm.
People start to shut up.
Which is why you don't go to open war with her. That would show her too much respect.
Yes, it would. It would at that.
No.
Disposing her of her power was most enjoyable to see. But she is a minor enemy. Not
Yes.
worth the great effort. For myself, but for you. A great opportunity.
And I turned to Vlad, and yes, your father was instrumental in her downfall the last time.
Was he?
Yes, he was.
I do not know of this tale. Please tell me.
Well, not directly, but we made use of it.
No. Most direct.
Did you make use of the dragon, or did the dragon make use of you?
Who can say?
Oh. We were just unseen
Strokes his
allies.
mustache.
We were
Vladimir's sorry?
We were allies, so he did not know it. Our enemy's enemy is our friend. So I'm bringing her down low and making sure she was ripe for the picking.
We got word that his army was marching towards our city, and we proceeded to sow chaos among her ranks.
If you wish to betray one of your own, I am sure that my father would take advantage of it.
She was deserving.
They all are. Vladimir peeks up. So it's quite an interesting tale you have there. Tell me, what is it that you have seen from your abode within the guilds concerning all of these affairs?
Well, certainly I saw all of that take place not so far away. I was quite glad actually to see or to hear of the Turks coming north. I was actually a little concerned that your father might set his sights on us after taking Naboa.
Vlad strokes his mustache. It was only a matter of time, I am sure.
Yes, well, the Turks made sure it wasn't so immediate.
Yeah. Your
And I'm sorry to hear.
kinsman demanded our attention.
Yes, I imagine so. Formidable as we are, yes. Formidable as you are as well. Tell me, what do you make of all of these people?
These people?
All of them, yes. One of our kind.
Ah, your kind. Which kind do you mean?
All together. You're
Are
here
you referring to the vampire? Or are you referring to the godless heathen swine?
Them here.
Ah. Some have their uses, some make greater enemies. Time will tell.
Already quarreling with one who well deserves your ire, I understand. Pointing to the other couch.
I have yet to speak with the man.
Oh, I meant not him.
Ventilla.
Ventilla. Yeah.
Ah, Ventilla. Yes. He is as much a swine as you are.
Well, maybe so. Tell me though. Swine are good for herding, swine are good for feeding. Swine are good for trading, though. Perhaps you don't have interest in that. You want to move forward now?
Rustovich pipes up. I am sure that whatever purity of Vlad's purpose is maintained, it will be honed by the necessities of his cause. Wouldn't you say? And he's like, but of course. Then Rustovich kind of smiles. What's up with Pax?
Is Anatole still ranting?
I know Anatole Lucida pulled him off.
Oh,
Yeah.
where are they now?
Once again, ranting has been moved away. Nope, stop. I just talked
Probably on the other side of the room. He's like right in front of Dominus's face.
Oh, jeez.
I'm Dominus, or
Yeah.
Should be amusing.
I don't care how sick you make me, I'm crazy.
Yeah.
Wildcard, bitches.
Alright.
Make sure to move Gutka too. Put her over there by the Toreador.
Is it Toreador?
Upright.
The couch right
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Gutka is up there like scratching herself.
I saw Crystal's raging too.
Yeah.
I'll go over here and talk to this person. And nobody talked to her yet.
She's way more interested in the horse.
Ariane, she has like a napkin, not a napkin, but like a handkerchief. She has a handkerchief and she's like holding it so that it like drapes in such a way that it's in front of Gutka, and Gutka's like, I mean, it's bad. I mean, she's like squatting and like reaching into her crotch and scratching bits off,
Nice.
and Ariane's just like
Great.
got her little handkerchief up, just like
Glad you decided to pay attention to me.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I give her my most winning smile and gesture to the couch. May I sit?
Yes, of course. Please distract me from this horrific display.
And before I do,
Gutka's like,
give her the-
Ariane, old friends. Yes, Gutka, old friends. Yes. I know how you enjoy torturing me. Gutka's like,
take her hand and bow over, of course, Pax Montalis.
Ariane.
It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Yes, yours as well, I'm sure. Under these circumstances, most especially.
That's quite the sculpture.
It is.
Such a thing, I marvel at it upon entering this place. I found it hard to tear my gaze away. Made of ice.
Yes.
And to think of such beauty.
Yes. I meditated for many days to decide how it is that I would craft this thing. I decided that rather than trying to carve the smooth portions, that I would melt them instead. And I held an ember within a goblet made of silver and used it to smooth the ice.
Thus its almost glass-like appearance. That is truly a marvel.
Thank you. Not quite as marvelous as this display, wouldn't you say? Like, she's like gesturing around Gutka, and Gutka's like
Anywhere but that.
doing this one, like trying to get it, trying to be the thing she's gesturing at. But you know,
She's like a 5-year-old. Who, me? Me?
Look around at the gathering and I'm like, this is, I would say, unprecedented.
yes, it's like watching a rock slide in slow motion.
It is a bit, isn't it?
Yes. And Gutka stops and she's like, yes. See, even this wretch Gutka can see it. She's like,
I can't help but notice the room weighted like the scales of a merchant. That lovely sculpture acting as the fulcrum in the middle. Currents of power balanced on either side.
oh, and a pool of vomit on one side of the scales and a pile of offal on the other.
So, what is it that convinced you to be here then?
How could I pass up such a display?
Certainly be a thing to be able to tell about in the future, wouldn't it?
Yes, my clan is not too prevalent within these lands, so somebody had to keep tabs on things, but I must admit that duty alone was not my motivation. This is history in the making.
I wonder what that history will be.
Ah, that is part of the excitement.
That much is true.
Gutkus interrupts, scoffs. Ha! These old goats. The result will be the same that it always has. Petty feuds. Tipping of scales. Tipping back of scales. Ariane is simply transfixed by its temporary drama. Ariane. Gutka, your wisdom, as astute as it may be, is decidedly lacking in aesthetic presence. Good! I am sure that she is correct, I still want to see what happens. Though, why it is that there's some kind of question about this Dracula character, that I don't understand.
No, you think it has much ado about nothing.
They should kill him and be done with it.
I suspect it's the same as always. Someone with power, or crazy at least, has their eye drawn towards a mortal of exceptional ability or influence and becomes a project for them.
Ugh. What kind of project is that?
I suppose that remains to be seen.
Might as well. She points over at Lucita. That is the result of having a project like that. Wandering the countryside, chasing some madman. Lucita stops and turns, and this black shadow begins to pool out from underneath her skirts and move outward.
So it begins.
Where is she? Is she over?
She's right over there.
She's right there. Next
She's right there, dude.
Yeah.
Gutka looks over at Arion, rolls her eyes, and then pulls filth out of her armpit and just flicks it at her.
And
then
Ariana?
at Ariana, and then walks over towards Lucita.
Good lord.
Pull a handy handkerchief out. Hold it out to her.
Thank you. Just pulls, wipes this dust stuff off of her face. So tell me of yourself, Mr. Pax.
What would you know?
From where do you hail? What is your stake in all of this? Who are you?
Originally, I hail from Milan, in
Oh.
Italy.
Oh, beautiful country.
What is it that?
I have traveled there many times.
I've not been back since my embrace. Since before my embrace, I should say.
Oh, how unfortunate.
I suppose I should make the journey one of these days. My companions and I spent the first few years of this new life in the great city, Constantinople.
Oh, yes, the holy city.
Yes.
Yes.
I see this petty squabbling, and it makes me mourn for not the loss, perhaps the scattering is a better term, of the dream that was sought there.
I didn't know too much about this whole dream thing, but Patronus certainly made it sound interesting.
Patronus, I heard he did not survive.
Yes, he is long gone to us.
The world is poorer for it.
It is.
He was a good friend. I miss his counsel.
It sounds that you knew him better than I.
Perhaps.
Are we clanmates then?
One could easily mistake me for such, but no.
Oh. How interesting.
Indeed. In fact, one of My earliest acquaintances is outside of my own companions is one of your clanmates. Prince, Daniel Coronado.
Ah, Coronado. I've heard his name.
A good and godly man.
Influential.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
I think that I spent a minimal amount of time in his court in the past.
Yes,
What is your stake here then?
I'm here at the request of Lord Radu.
And that is.
Well, I suppose we'll see what my stake here is. We're more interested in the outcome of these things. The proposition by our host, Prince Otto, of this Camarilla society.
Camarilla.
Yes. You know not of this thing?
Of course I do.
Ah. And what are your thoughts?
On the Camarilla?
Yes.
Or Prince Otto?
Either one. Both.
Well, one's not the other.
Well, on the Camarilla then.
I think it's wise. Long have we endeavored to bring culture and intelligence to our kind. And the passive route has failed, besieging us with enemies on all sides. There is far too much these days. Too much food. Too many horses. Too many men. Too many messengers. The fact that we are all here is a testament to this. We will know each other like we have never known each other before. Many, many, many are the years that have passed since the ancient times when the lone Cainite stood upon his castle and ruled with impunity. His neighbors leagues away. And to pretend that that is still the world we live in is folly. We are besieged by enemies on all sides, and we have wanton monsters in our midst. And something has to be done.
And on the other hand, you have the Anarchs.
The monsters, yes.
Who lash out against the elders and strike them down.
They indulge in madness. They would have us all killed.
That is the end result of their path, it seems to me.
It is quite perverse also that, with a few exceptions, the majority of their targets are not the eldest, but simply those that are elder than them. If carried out to its natural conclusion, these anarchs will destroy all of those of the middling generations. Then the great elders will hide themselves away, and the young will fall upon each other. It's barbarism.
To be sure.
Harstadt was wise to devise this. I know it is hard for Otto and for Dominus to accept this eventuality, but it is at that.
I've still grappling with the question of what is the wisest path. Obviously, the path of the anarch leads to madness and death.
Yes.
But
There is only one path.
on the other hand, I can see the reservations that the voivode might have, for instance.
They would do
losing their
everything
autonomy.
in their power to walk backwards in time to the days when they were great dark lords, unbesieged, sovereign and perfect.
Well, perhaps cooler heads will prevail, and a middle ground can be found.
There is no middle ground to be had. You indulge in a fantasy, you indulge in suicide, or you indulge in civility.
Well, my friends would tell you I've always been a bit of an idealist.
As am I. As is Harstad.
Our host. That's Harstad, right?
No,
No, who's Harstad?
he's a
He's
completely
not
different
here.
guy.
He's the
Oh,
guy
he's-
that's found in the camera.
He's the guy that's found in the camera roll.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
He is nowhere around here. Dude hangs out in England.
In England.
England.
A little bit of a trek.
Yeah, these are all Eastern European people.
Okay.
Like even this chick, like she has all the tellings of you you and Emmy are the most Western people here.
You are the most Western person.
Yeah. Like Ariane is Hungarian.
What?
Instead of he's done else.
Yeah. You all good for now?
Yeah.
All right. Where you?
Well, as I'm still conversing with Lord Stowich, I'm going to put the question to him. Forgive me for asking, but what are your thoughts on this Camarilla that Harstad has proposed?
It is an obvious ploy.
To what end?
For those that are elder among their clans to secure power against the younger and eliminate the anarchs.
What would you propose to eliminate these anarchs? Obviously, something needs to be done.
Yes, something needs to be done. I don't know what types of strategies we might utilize in the future, but the chief among those is very much like that of the Camarilla, only instead of a mewling congregation of sycophants compromising into nothingness, there would be a strong meeting of those of power, falling away with those that are weak. The ancient trials of our people, both of Transylvania and of the Canaanite, should prevail. The strongest rule by strength, not by committee and vote. And the youngers that are errant are punished. See him looking over at this Stanislaw guy.
Yes, I can see that some sort of middle ground must be reached, as it were.
That may be
Mm. Yes, there will be lands in between theirs and ours that will be in fluctuation, I have no doubt.
I have discussed this at length with my companions. And my contention is that there is wisdom in remaining hidden from the mortals. There is wisdom in not bringing the Inquisition down on our heads, for the one weakness of our kind is in numbers, something the mortals do not have an issue with. You know the populations, all of their cities are growing every year, larger and larger. But at the same time, I have no wish, like you, to be hobbled by committees of bureaucrats and counselors and such, telling me when and where I can go and hunt, and when and where I can do these things, and trying to punish me for doing what they do not like.
Indeed. You, furthermore, do not require a tradition or a rule in order to do this. All that is required is to understand the basic necessities of subtlety.
Yes, and a lack of stupidity.
And should you fail at these things?
Well, but stupidity is its own reward, yes?
Yes.
The stupid die young.
Yes. This is the solution to our problems.
So then those who have drank the Elder's blood are well within their rights? Because their elders were stupid to allow them?
How did they gain such things? Through dishonor and betrayal? Through duplicitous, weak means?
Perhaps, and yet,
What will happen to them? If they have not the strength that it would take to defeat a foe, would they not perish?
perhaps.
Yeah.
Perhaps new strength they have from eating their sires, though, allow them
You
to take
think
their
that
place.
borrowed blood replaces age and skill and
Quite.
knowledge?
Quite the opposite. I agree with you, Aristobich. Gaining strength through diablerie, yes, is a quick path to strength. But strength without wisdom is foolishness. Strength without wisdom is death.
It is. It prevents true victory.
The old wolf gets to be the old wolf because he knows when and where to fight. When and where to. The young wolf may be stronger, but the old wolf is...
My grandsire Yorak regaled to me tales, his sire, the eldest. And I learned that to be strong, to be victorious, was to be ever-changing, ever-evolving. Some amongst the youngest have learned that, and they have gained victory through it. And they will hold on to that victory. Others conspired together and through politics and favor defeated olders among us. They evolved not. They changed not. They gathered together in large groups, and one of their number manipulated the others into favoring him in drinking the heart's blood of the elder. These have changed nothing. Their blood may be thicker, stolen closer to the eldest, like the Tremere, but it does not make them greater. Knowledge and wisdom and insight are what create this.
One could further argue that the greater fool they, for they believe that their stolen blood gives them greater strength than it actually does.
Uh-huh. Yes. Many of the young have not come to learn of how their arrogance can undo them.
I don't disagree. Yet, this elder who was drank was arrogant as he should be, and yet still failed to evolve himself into this new way and avoid this fate.
I do not defend the eldest. Many are the mentor that lose their own wisdom and are surpassed by their students.
I expect so. Yes, their students will be quite arrogant when they have very literally done so.
They're like a boy with his first sword, setting out to battle, thinking to conquer,
Yes.
and then slicing his own leg and bleeding out in the field.
Knowing nothing of true victory. Roll animal kin and perception.
That's 7, 9, 9. That's 3 successes.
There is no wolf that has ever been born on this earth that can make a pelt this big. None.
I think I know where that came from.
What do you think, maybe? With this talk of doing the blood eagle on Lupin? Yeah.
Indulge me a question, if you will, Lord Stowage.
Perhaps.
Where did you get this fine fur?
This.
It appears to be wolf fur, but I've never seen one so large, except perhaps one of the lupin.
Yes, this is the pelt of the third of the Black Star of the Lord of Shadow.
The Lord of Shadow.
Yes.
Is he one of their leaders?
He's one of their members.
Yes. We have,
His specific name was Dimitri, if I am not mistaken.
we fought a few lupins once before when we drove Mitri the Hunter from Klausenberg 3 centuries ago.
Ah, so you have faced our true enemies.
They were formidable, but not invincible.
Yes.
Did we get 1, 2? I
I
feel
believe there were 3.
Oh, there were, but I think we killed one of them.
I believe we killed 2 of them, and the other ran with Mitri.
Generations ago, I befell a great loss due to their might. I was disposed from my land and my castle, and had to regain it. Though I learned a great deal about them in the interim.
I expect so.
Did you know that their souls move through time?
I don't know that I even fathom what that means. Through time?
Yes, they move through time.
How so?
As I say, this was the third of the Black Star. His particular name was Dimitri. Dimitri was the name of the man that became the Lupin. But the soul was Black Star. Dimitri Blackstar. And before that, it was Sylvia Blackstar, a female. Before that, it was Gorogan Blackstar.
Interesting.
Quite fascinating.
Upon the death of the first one, I found the means to observe the soul as it was moving through time into a new person.
I am going to activate Shroud Sight.
Okay. You can see that, like, there's a form that's, like, connected to this black pelt that's just, like, globbed onto his back. Like a man caught halfway in the fur.
After you plug that in, we can get houses.
I sort of. look
Did
at
you
it.
know furthermore that they have memory of their old lives?
And already told.
Some more than others. But they remember. And when you come to them with your silver and begin to remove their teeth or their viscera and strangle them with it, they recognize their former skin. And they know who you are. And it drives them into madness. Their kind are not as long-lived and as noble as we are. And they cannot stand
Abby,
our
is that
grace.
not open yet? Don't open it. Just have it tomorrow.
I suspect.
You need to go to bed.
Put it in the fridge.
Yes. The soul of that for his last owner. Window soul.
There is a shred of the man left behind with the soul endures. It has yet to return back to our world, but
No,
I am observing it closely.
he's right there.
You are mistaken.
The man and the beast are separate.
Make sure
And as he says that, like
Make sure.
this doesn't look like it's a form, but it's not like a guy looking at you. It's like
Like zombified.
It's a man pelt.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like a drone. You know what a drone is? It's like a drone.
Hey, we need to go to bed.
See the spirit of something
I'm not
surrounding
talking to you.
Good.
Come on, Alex. Go to bed.
Perhaps they can see it as well.
Yes.
Alexander.
Yes, you'll forgive my curiosity, given that their kind are often known to run the woods of these lands. I have been
Hey, Isaac, don't worry about it. I'll get
understandably
it.
curious.
Thank you.
But
I endeavor and work with great effort to fight them. And that is the reason that they have not plagued you.
evidently that has been most effective. Ever since we drove off Mitri's allies, we have not seen any more in these lands.
And your curiosity well illustrates my point. That I, a man in my arrogance, fell before great enemies. And through learning and cunning, overcame a greater enemy than myself. This is the strength I speak of. Demonstrated. Perhaps you will have your own collection of pelts like this one day, or some similar token of your evolving victory.
Perhaps. And out of curiosity, while I've still got shroud sight, if I look around the rest of the room. Any spirits in here? No?
No.
That's kind of weird in and of itself.
Or intentional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of.
No.
It would pretty much have to be.
No spying. Stop. Get out. Indeed, my tokens are many but petty. A wonderful city I have built upon your river.
Mm.
Built upon those tokens.
You may carry the face of our enemies, but I do not attribute you quite the same persecution that Vlad does. Vlad's just sort of like,
Yes, Vlad most certainly holds his grudges. I can see that.
Vlad's purity is to be commended.
I don't mean any disrespect by that. It is the strength of a honed edge, does not bend.
Who's this one sitting over here? And I sort of motion towards Stanislav.
The Bruja.
He is Bruja.
Mm.
I don't recall ever meeting one of their kind. Perhaps I should go talk to him.
As you will, Master Gangrel.
Nod, turn around, and walk over there.
I'm staying here.
So Rustovich heads back to his little corner where the two other Shemisi are. Well, there's a couple other flunkies, but the two other guys. He's going to move over there. Leifar is moving over to Stanislav. Emmy is gone. What are you doing?
Well, where is Gutka in reference to Dominus?
Last I checked her in front.
Nope, she's not. She's over by. Gutka was over there by Lucita. Gutka was interacting with Lucita. By now, Lucita has pulled Anatole over to Ketal.
Leaving Gutka.
Gutka probably followed. And Lucita's shadows have abated.
I'd like to chat with Gutka.
Huh? Yeah, she's right there.
I bow down to her. Greetings, Gutka.
She bows as well. Greetings, stranger.
My name is Thomas. How are you this evening?
I am Gutka.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Mm.
You are from Clan Nosferatu.
Yes, and you?
I'm of Clan Tsamisi.
Huh.
I mean no offense, but I'm curious, these growths on your back. Did you make these?
It is the salt of the stone.
Oh, what sort of stone?
Granite.
Right. Is there a reason for it, or just curiosity?
Well, I certainly don't adorn myself with salt crystals out of curiosity.
That wasn't my intention. I am just curious for what they are for. But
What is this for? And she like reaches into your groin and starts like fondling your junk. Huh? What is this for?
This was for reproduction at one
Yeah,
point.
but no longer.
And are you making a comparison between the two?
Am I?
I'm asking you. Is this just as pointless as the crystals on your back?
I will tell you, young one,
Mm-hmm.
something very important to understand about my kind. We are cursed. There is no purpose behind us. We are a flaw.
Understood. Forgive me for my rudeness.
Ignorance. At least you speak plainly.
That's for certain. I saw you over there with Anna, or what's her name over there. She seemed quite up in the clouds.
Ariane.
Ariana, yes.
Yes, Ariana requires grounding, as you say.
That's for sure. Well, I hope the rest of your evening goes well. I do apologize for any.
What is it that you are doing here, little one?
I'm here on business for Lord Roger.
Hmm.
He has come here in his stead to observe.
The diplomat.
Yes.
Hmm. And what is that purpose involving me?
Nothing at all. I just thought you might be interested to talk to. The rest seems so.
You entice me to believe that there is no purpose between your agenda and my presence.
I'm sure we all have stakes in what happens here.
Hmm. And you would wish to know mine without speaking yours.
Oh no, if you wish, I'll ask you it plainly and you can ask me the same. But
I
I-
just did.
we are just here as observers primarily to report back to Radu.
Hmm.
Anything else that happens is extra.
Hmm.
And yourself?
I represent Clan Nosferatu. I am the eldest.
Oh. I hope the rest of this meeting goes well, but we'll leave it
Not
for now.
likely.
That wouldn't be a surprise, but I hope it does not come to that.
Do you truly know?
Certainly.
On this we might be in agreement. Why would you wish it to be that way?
I can understand the feud between the clans, but I don't think it's productive.
It's certainly not productive. How is it that you find it unproductive is the question.
I find it unproductive because I consider most of them have the same goals, but
Wait. You come from the Holy City.
yes, I did stay in the Holy City.
You were trained by Zalius.
Yes, I was.
Ah,
But for most of my time in the Holy City, I was a human.
yes, that is not the point.
What is it?
The point is that you were trained by Zalius.
No.
So perhaps you do have a bit of objectivity about you. In a way, you are heart, Nosferatu. I am surprised that he did not make you, though perhaps he lost his opportunity.
Perhaps.
Or he favored you and did not wish you to be cursed.
Maybe.
So, if it is that you wish to prevent this meeting from becoming a disaster, what are you willing to do to help make that happen?
It depends on the situation, but given all the clans here, there are so many ways it could go wrong. I could not imagine how I could prepare for all the scenarios.
Yes.
I just hope I'm prepared for the ones that happen.
But it is also a pile of stones that will come toppling down if you remove the correct piece.
Exactly. And that is where I feel I lack, as you can already tell, my knack for politics is lacking.
If you are lacking in politics, how about naked persuasion? And if not you, perhaps one of your companions.
I'm sure one of my companions is far more persuasive than I am.
Are you prepared to do this thing then?
What thing are you asking?
If your goals are in line with mine and you do not wish this to erupt in flames,
Yes. Then we are aligned.
persuade one of your companions to get Dracula by himself and remove him from this place. He is afraid and he does not wish to be here. He is the chief bargaining piece in this place.
That's for sure.
Rustovich will follow him eventually, and the pile of stones will come tumbling down. But he will not speak with me.
I will try.
Little would Vladimir let him speak with me alone.
And what would you ask of Dracula alone?
But I have simply just told you to leave this place.
So, your intention is to leave him as a mortal, not to join.
I care not for any of this. I do not wish this place to create a war.
Agreed. I will talk with my group and see what we can do.
Proceed with subtlety.
Will do. To that I turn away and head back towards Emmy after
How did that go?
most interesting.
I'm sure. Watching you was quite a spectacle.
Oh, I bet it was.
Yes, most intriguing.
Despite her appearance, her goals seem to align with ours. She does not
Okay.
wish for war, or she does not look to get Dracula on her side or anyone's side. Like us, she kind of agrees that he's more of a bargaining piece. She's asked us to get Dracula alone to lead him away from this hall.
Did she say why? Just to get him out of the equation?
Yes, that's what I understood.
And what shall we do with him once we get him away from this place?
She didn't say, but she did mention that even if we got him alone, that Razanovich would follow after.
Yes, I do see that happening. I think we need to talk to the others
Agreed.
and see if what they have gleaned, and I need to let them know what I told you. So they're all kind of. Is Pax still up by Arion?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Trying to find some good company.
Yeah.
Hey man, I was helping her out too.
Yeah.
Your conversation with her has probably transitioned into what she can say to anger various people in the room, and like how she can subtly convince them that somebody else had said the thing that would make them angry. She's looking to light this place up. She wants to see this place go up in flames. Just for her
Amusement.
pure amusement, yeah, because she doesn't respect anybody here for the most part, and she's like, yeah, fuck all these people.
Despite some of them being like the elder of the clan.
Not her clan though.
Not her clan.
Yeah.
Hashtag not my clan.
And her
She's her
and she,
obviously
She's
the best
totally
clan.
yeah, well, and she's also yeah, she likes the Ventru. She likes Harshback.
But he's
Not this guy.
Yeah.
This guy's a dick.
Yeah.
Otto.
No,
No.
she doesn't give a crap about Otto. She's talking about Dominus.
She's talking about
Yeah.
She's like these Incarnu dudes, like, whatever.
So what about Stanislav?
You're heading over to Stanislav probably while he's talking to Gutka, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you head over to Stanislav, and you see him. He's just sitting, and he's like, he's grinding his palm into his knee, and gritting his teeth.
You seem no more comfortable in this gathering than I do, friend.
How could I be?
Forgive me, my Leifar. You are...
I forgot my name.
Stanislav.
Stanislav.
That's on the end. You're
And what brings you here, if you don't mind me asking?
I was invited to this. Pit.
You are Bruja?
I am.
I cannot say I've had the pleasure of meeting one of your clan before.
Well, there's a first time for everything.
It would seem so. So, whose side do you fall on in this argument, or neither?
Which argument?
Well...
My argument is older than all of this.
Oh, truly.
Yes.
And what argument is that?
Reign of the Romans.
Glance over at Dominus. Any particular Romans?
Any of them will do.
So someone invited you, one who hates Romans, to a gathering
All Bruja hate Romans.
with him. Yes, I have read of the conflict in the old days.
Yes.
Before my time, of course, but certainly I can understand your desire for vengeance.
And the Roman Ventru are like the rot on a wounded limb.
Then you would side with the Voivode.
The Voivode. Huh. They're simply monsters.
Yes, but their hatred of the Ventru rivals yours, surely.
No.
Yours has more ancient origins, of course.
There is no fiend alive that will hate Ventru like we hate Ventru.
What are your intentions here today, if you don't mind me asking?
Haven't decided.
You do, of course, realize that this entire gathering is bound to go up like a haystack in a lightning storm.
Maybe.
All it would take would be one spark to ignite the whole thing.
Yeah,
Is that what you desire, then?
I haven't decided.
I think perhaps that in a situation like this, a bit of subtlety might be in order. As hard as that is for one of my kind, and it seems your kind, to accept.
If that fire puts a stake through Dominus's heart, it will be worth setting.
Well, it seems to me that someone here has gathered the kindling and is merely waiting to set the spark.
No doubt that Prince Otto, another Ventry ploy.
Why would he desire there to be conflict?
Oh, surely the Ventry can make themselves to be sympathetic victims in all of this.
Yes, but he lives in Tzimitzi lands. You must know of their connection to the land. Have you witnessed Koldunic sorcery before?
No. What is that?
They draw upon the power of the land itself, the Carpathians specifically. They can do some quite incredible feats.
So?
Well, he lives in these lands. It seems to me that drawing the ire of the voivode would be foolish.
Yet he draws it still.
Yes, he does.
The arrogance of the Ventru knows no bounds.
Of that, I agree, glancing over at Nova. I have had my run-ins with their kind. I have no more love of them than you do.
They deserve every bit of vengeance that can be wrought upon them, whatever day it may come.
Still, as I said, someone has gathered kindling and is preparing to light the spark. I would suggest that whatever their ends are, they probably aren't ends that you and I would agree with. And there might be a better idea to not let the spark ignite in the first place. At least not today.
Or to control where it lights.
Possibly, yes.
You were with the voivode. I saw you talking with the count.
Yes. I have allied with him in the past, yes.
Yes, I'm sure you will do what you can to ensure that position.
I have no position with him. No longer. I once did. I no longer possess nor seek such position. Such are fetters I do not wish to have around my neck.
What type of fiend are you then?
I am no fiend.
Mm-hmm.
I am Gangrel.
Ah. You're a gangrel and you have never met a Bruja before.
No. They do not often come to these lands.
Seems very strange.
Well, it's possible some of the anarchs I killed before were Bruja. I didn't ask. I was once Prince of Klassenburg, you see. A number of them tried to move through that territory, and when they didn't take the hint that they were not welcome, I was forced to take extreme measures. I didn't bother to ask them what clan they are.
What they were doing.
No,
Who their families were.
no, no. I told them to leave. They did not leave. I made them leave by another route. But, as I said, I no longer have that position, nor desire it.
Very well.
I came simply because my companions convinced me that there was a benefit to coming to this conclave. I think that in the larger scheme of things, everyone seems to be out for their own interests. Camarilla, the Anarchs, the Voivode. Well, I am allied with the Voivode now. Who can say what will happen in the future? Camarilla seem like a bunch of power-mad fools.
At least on that we agree.
The Anarchs, rabid dogs. I would either seek another path or simply my own.
We'll let willful ignorance prevail.
Yes. Sometimes willful ignorance is the path to blissfulness.
It is.
And where do you fall? Anarch, Camarilla, Voivode? It seems to me that the enemy of your enemy would be your friend at this time.
Your brother is about to have Gutka cover him in offal.
Who?
Oh, maybe not.
I guess this is where she
Yeah.
grabbed me.
Oh. Yes. Should be amusing.
Stanislav gets up and he starts wandering over towards the Torah.
I know, I can walk out.
I go and find Pax.
That's funny.
Pax is over where Stanislav just walked.
I was just gonna say I gracefully excuse myself and head over towards.
Oh, you meet
That's
her?
fine. We'll meet in the middle
Where do you meet?
somewhere then.
By the ice statue.
By the ice statue.
No, wait, that's the
No,
wrong.
we
Oh,
don't
wait.
want to. We don't want to meet in the ice
Dude, that's
statue.
not a horse. That's a Pegasus, man.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
He was saying it was a horse. It's a Pegasus.
Is it?
Yeah, dude, it's got wings.
I don't think those are wings. I think that's barding.
That's what?
Barding. Kind of.
Okay.
Whatever.
Whatever.
It's like
It's a
bone barding.
statue.
Whatever, dude. I don't know. Never mind. Who cares?
I don't know
Whatever
what
it is.
pieces of horse
Important, it is not.
It's a statue.
We totally meet over by the statue.
Okay.
Yeah, statue.
Statue.
Yes, statue.
It's the only place to talk. It's quiet.
I also want to continue my conversation with Dracula if so willing.
So,
I see them gathering up and I walk over there too. Now that our conversation is done.
so yeah, it occurs to you that you are all alone with Dracula.
Oh, it absolutely has occurred to me.
Yeah. Okay. Just making sure that's clear. And so yeah, he brought, like, after that last exchange, he's probably standing up, but nothing, nothing, just like stretching his legs,
Yeah.
stroking his mustache.
So, son of the dragon, why really have you come here?
I wish to see what is available, what friends there are to be had, what the enemies there are that I did not know.
How deeply do you want to ally with these people?
Remains to be determined. So, heathen, heretic, foreigner, What are you doing here?
Oh, you know, interloping as we always do, right?
Mm-hmm. Is that all, though? This is quite the unique and exquisite interloping.
I'll be honest, I'm most curious in you, and that's why I ask.
What do you propose, then?
You still have your name, still command respect from people.
Yes, I do. I speak the truth that their hearts know.
Indeed. Truth does not put steel in their hands, though, does it?
No.
Though it does set fire to their hearts.
Yes. I have inspired peasants to bring working tools to fight against the Turks.
Effective it was.
It was.
How many did you lose?
3/4.
Was that
But the amount of Turks that were killed was astronomical.
impressive? But does any of that factor into what happened to you?
Unfortunately, very little. For it is petty politics, clan disputes. I do not know why my enemies could not content themselves with killing my father and disposing me from the throne when I was young, but they felt the need to return once I had come and conquered. In their name, in our name.
Before you were deposed, did you hate them?
I hated them, but I was not their enemy. They have chosen to maintain being my enemy.
You would not have chosen it yourself if they had not.
Why would I? Once I gained vengeance for my father, it was over.
Not for them, I suppose, then.
Not for them.
No.
The same with these Turks. They can't be content with their own lands. They must come and take ours. The wise men among them, no doubt, being ignored.
Perhaps. There are many rich lands where they come from.
Huh, not rich enough for them.
There are many rich lands here, aren't there?
Huh.
Let me ask you. For you may make friends, but I don't think you want to drink of the blood of any here, would you?
I have yet to decide.
You would be tying yourself to them forever.
In some ways. At least they think such would be the case. I admire your shrewdness. That is actually part of what I am evaluating.
No, most certainly I admire you.
Not
as
only
well.
who is worth allying with, but how much of a slave one is to another
Indeed.
after this embrace.
Indeed.
Can you tell me more of that?
It is both love and hate simultaneously. I will tell you a secret.
Will you now?
Yes. I hate the blood in my veins. Pointing to the two sitting with Navoa. They are slave to it. Theirs is to be certain that once that blood is in your veins, you are slave to it. That blood runs in my veins. I have no love for the person who gave me this.
Yet you are free, and you are not a slave.
Yet I don't know that for sure, because sometimes the shackles are invisible. Sometimes they're deep within my mind, or your mind, or anyone else's mind. You are set on a path.
And are all the canine peoples like this?
Some are. It's still possible, the same thing. Shared with each other as bartering, as ways to create alliance, as ways to create underlings and overlings.
We should perhaps speak more of this.
Certainly would. Your will may not be your own, and that's why I say. You need steel. I have steel. I have artisans. I have people. You don't need to share my blood. You want to keep your own mind and your own blood?
Bisalakanda. Kila kula. He's like speaking Arabic.
Mm-hmm.
He says, do you have knowledge and intelligence and wisdom? Do you have spies?
Always.
Kumkalechili, can you take me from this place?
I think we can.
Hey, hello. Like, let's go now.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to roll perception, perception and empathy. No, appearance and empathy. Appearance.
Curious. We're gonna skip out on the yellow die. 6, 3, 1, 6, 5. Not that great.
You can tell he's nervous.
Yeah. No, I thought so, based on that response.
That may be a good time for what I had in mind for the next bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, you guys were doing stuff anyways. You wouldn't have. You could have easily seen Jakub talking with him alone, but that's all the information you have.
I know, but I'm assuming that you would have told me what Gurka told you about getting him out of here.
Yeah. What are you guys talking about over
That's
there?
exactly what we're doing. 'Cause
Yeah,
Tom
so
told
what is the
me, and I
discussion
said
here?
we need to find Pax and
Yeah, that
everybody
discussion
else.
would be happening at the same time as his
Yes.
with Vlad. Yeah. What's going on?
So,
Thomas and I share all the information, and I'm like, "Where's Jakub?"
I nod and I'm like,
With the target.
Yeah.
why don't you two go talk to Ariana and keep her from starting any fires? And then I beeline around the table, and as I'm heading towards Jakub and Dracula, I summon Houndmaster Gradovich.
Okay.
That's a way.
Alright, so I guess Thomas and I walk up to Ariana.
All right. So you guys can work together on a manipulation and subterfuge roll to basically get her to basically distract her from whatever
Starting.
nonsense she's looking to.
So you said subterfuge and what?
Subterfuge and manipulation.
We're sitting over here right now in this scene.
You're looking for eights.
8? 1 8.
8, 9, 9, 10.
Wait,
Oh.
an 8 and a
Damn
9.
it, killing it today.
8 and a 9.
Damn.
Yeah, another 9. That 10 exploded to another 9.
So
Yeah.
what like so you go over there and you kind of like befriend her, talk to her a little bit, and like you like lure her in by talking as if you want to do the same shit she does, where you want to like, this person's so weak and da 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 da.
Yeah.
And she starts talking about how she's like Stanislaus. He's the ember that's going to get all this started. Like, I'm going to go get him all
okay,
pissed off.
see.
So what is the counter ploy that you have? What's the thing you want to propose to do that's not actually going to work at all, but you're going to convince her that it's going to work to start a bunch of shit?
That's going to be better than Stanislaus.
Well, he's
Yeah.
heading over
Convince-
anyway.
Yeah, he's heading your way anyways.
Okay, so we're trying to convince her.
Like you're trying to convince her fast. Like no, don't do him. Do this person.
Oh, okay.
Groka.
Yeah. So I
That's a hard convincing.
Yeah.
No.
No, it's not.
Not with all
No,
the
it's not.
successes, it's
No,
not.
it's not. Plus, with the way that she just treated Ariana,
And no one would
that
expect
bitch ain't gonna do that to me. Blah blah blah. She's gonna, yeah.
No man gonna talk to me that way.
Yeah. Oprah. But yeah, so I convinced her that no, Stanislaus isn't gonna do anything. He's not gonna I was like, Gruka is even more on edge than he is. You could get her going in a hot minute. And I tell her exactly
And you
what to
you
say,
can double down with that one
Yeah.
by adding in like the personal insult angle.
Yeah, and say,
And just be all
this
like,
is what
"You saw what she did to you?"
I saw,
Like,
totally watched.
It's like you just pick off a little piece.
Well, yeah, no. I'm like, remember this? Yeah. I was like, and you're just gonna let her walk away? And no, we need to get her going.
I kind of chime in. It's like, you saw what she did to me a moment ago. She has no she has no respect for others.
She is an old friend.
Yeah, but sometimes friends become frenemies.
I've always enjoyed quarreling with her.
I know, and you're very good at it. So I think this is definitely going to work better because we have to convince Stanislaus with all this other stuff. With Grudka, you guys have personal history. It's going to go up in flames super quick.
And Stanislaus, what's the beauty in the obvious?
Can you get me an opportunity to get her in front of Dominus?
Oh, absolutely.
She'll do the same thing to him and he won't have it.
Oh, yeah? Not a problem. Right this way.
5 minutes.
Got it.
She gets up and starts walking towards the door. The doors burst open
Oh, jeez.
and a mob of people comes in.
Down
One
here?
guy down here in front.
Okay.
One guy comes in and he has the head of the servant who led you guys into this room in his hand, and he's like,
No.
"Death to the elders!"
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
How about that?
Yeah, I had a few.
Oh snap!
All the elders in one place.
Yeah.
Yep.
Alex is tired.
Yeah, he's in there.
He's got to be sleeping on the couch.
He absolutely is. Man, I even had a good ploy in mind too.
I was hoping to get you to tell Jakub,
It's okay.
you and Jakub to go.
It's a good thing you pulled him. I already know where I'm going because I know the secret way out.
Yeah.
End scene.
Yep.
Those of you in the first few rows may get wet.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You go get Gabriel Gallagher on him.
Guys, that's not a waterfall, that's a head. Stop it. Dear, oh dear.
That was fun, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Watching that powder keg.
Oh yeah, that's why I stayed on that rug for so long. I was like, who's gonna go first?
Yeah. The Anarchs.
Yeah. Oh,
The
absolutely.
Anarchs are going first.
Well, yeah.
Those guys.
You know the best thing about rabid dogs? Nobody minds when you put them down.
Yeah.
Well, you know how to protect, right?
All right. I had a lot of fun, guys. And that wasn't, I was worried it would be real cumbersome and confusing, but I don't think it was.
I think the map helped. Which
The map
Yeah.
really did help.
sorry, you guys on YouTube. This really sucks.
You're welcome.
Yeah, sorry, YouTube people, you don't have the map. Yeah.
I can screenshot it easy.
There will be lots of
Yeah, a couple screenshots might be good just to kind of get an idea,
Yeah.
like where people started out, because I think you might be able to hear, like understand from listening to it, like who moved where. And I could just
Yeah.
read this up like the whole time and flash a couple pictures of the individual people being talked to, and then flash the map again so people get an idea.
Well,
Because
this
there wasn't too much movement, and there's not supposed to be. I mean, it's supposed to be kind of like a little bit of a stalemate.
Like a sports review.
Well-
It's like, Bill could move from over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I had the ability to do that easily, I would, but it's not the easiest thing to edit into a video.
We moved more than anyone else did.
Yeah.
So,
I purposely didn't move.
yeah.
There's method to my madness.
Okay,
So for
man.
those of you watching on the YouTubes, all of the player characters have the tokens that are ringed in a silver type color, and all of the gold and copper and brass are NPCs.
Oh, okay, yeah. That helps keep an eye on things.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let's do some desires, man. Jakub, desires.
Wants to learn what drives Dracula.
Wants to learn what drives Dracula. You got it.
And then showing my loyalty to the Bordeaux. Coming here, I did talk a little bit to the leader.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, just straight up being here for audience.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
There's the notes.
Okay. Tomas.
Make a good impression with those in attendance. Get Dracula to join us and expand the order of the Crimson Stone.
You didn't do any Crimson Stone stuff that I noticed.
Nope.
What did you do with to? Oh no, yeah, you talked with Gutka about.
No, but,
Yeah.
what's his
So,
face again?
so yeah, too. Yeah.
So,
All right, Lefar.
I wanted to get the other PCs to convince me to come to this conflict.
Nice.
How dare you? How
Nice.
dare you use us like that for experience?
Excellent.
Dare you?
How excellent. Wonderful.
Hey, you.
And I also wanted to enter into a debate with the other PCs about the merits of this authority.
Yeah, that happened both before and during the convocation. Right on, man.
I also kind of wanted to talk to Thomas a bit about strengthening the ties to the land that he's been talking about, like the Covenant sorcery, which we didn't really get to do in character, but we kind of did in everything. But
Yeah, I heard you talking about it beforehand, and there was a lot going on right now, so it was kind of hard to insert that.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, I'll give you credit because yeah, you did your best. All right, Pax.
So, I specifically wanted to draw 2 of our players into some of the action, which I did at the end.
Yeah.
Go talk to her.
Yeah.
I said I had a method to my madness.
I know. I wanted to preach the gospel of Michael.
Yeah, you did some of that.
I did. I talked to Ariane about the dream.
Yeah.
And,
You were subtle, but you did it.
Yeah, I did it. And I wanted to find out the motivations behind the son of the dragon.
You found some of them.
Yeah. Well, I talked to him about it at length. So yeah, it works for me.
He's multifaceted.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. All right. M.A.
Emmy wanted to read the room.
Yeah.
hell yeah, you did.
Yeah, hell yeah, you did. You read that room like a mother grabber.
She wanted to read the room. The other one was decrease humanity because I only need 1 more to switch roads, but that didn't happen. That's just fine.
Yeah, you didn't work on that.
I mean, just give someone a needle to swallow next time.
Well, I know. No. Oh, this next time, totally losing it.
Yeah.
Totally losing it. Yeah. And I didn't have a 3rd one.
Okay, fair
I
enough.
figured we were just gonna be in here, so
That's cool.
which is fine.
All right.
And game.
Game. Game is good.
Game is good. Huh?
What do you think of Rustovich?
An interesting character.
Isn't he interesting as shit? Yeah.
I hope he doesn't die anytime soon.
In a few minutes.
Like next game.
Yeah. I'm gonna read the room and say a lot of people are dying this next time. The chalice may come out.
People I made friends with tend to die.
Yes. What does that say about us?
No, not really. Just well, I don't know. Like in the Constantinople portion, 2 of the most NPCs that were the most important to me died.
Yeah. Patronus.
I.e. Patronus, no, Gabriella.
Oh, Gabriella, yeah.
Well, she didn't die till later.
Yeah, but she died. Still.
It's a loss.
It is a loss.
We went into the abyss after her.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Still touched by that.
Mm-hmm.
But did you go to hell?
I
Yes,
think
we
it
did
was
that too,
worse.
but not
Yeah,
for
we
her.
all went to hell.
Also, abyss is like, no.
The abyss is a lot worse.
It's its own type of hell.
When they came back.
In China, they'd be like, oh, it's
yeah.
a hell. Yeah.
Hey, did you get it? We
But
went.
was it
not-
full of
no, no.
fire?
We didn't go to. We didn't go to hell.
No.
We went to 5 hells.
Uh-huh.
In those 5 hells,
Well,
did they mess you up enough to give you a god of obtenebration?
No.
yeah. Yeah.
The abyss did.
The abyss was worse.
Yeah.
The abyss is worse
Yeah.
by far.
Those hells ain't shit.
Yeah, those are weak ass fellas.
And then I went back. Because I'm weird.
Because you're crazy.
I'm crazy.
And I was like-
just have to know.
And I was like, no.
And I was like,
No.
okay, guys, just give me a little room. I'll hang out in a little room, and then shadows will bleed from my eyes.